Appreciate you guys all being here. What happened? What you doing? Welcome into the show. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome in to Alliance Tournaments Day 2 and the launch of a brand new Battle Pass. Let's get it on. We're going to talk a little bit about it tonight. Who's in our live studio audience? Can we get started with a Talking Trek server sound off? Can we do that? Can we do that, please? Fantastic. Welcome in. Noon Whistle on 29, kicking us off. Vic on 33, Stradalorian on 9. What's going on? Sir Tail on 36. Tarpy on server 30. Check on 84. What's going on? Iron Chef on server 14. Thank you. Hello. Welcome in. Jondrel on 32. Scud Missile on 26. Doug on 38. 188 on 188. Very original. Thank you. J-Babes on 13. Enterprise on 30. What's going on? Doug on 38. Pixelate on server 80. Bender on 51. Striker on 49. Vic on 33. Mad Rocks on 8. Matt on 51. Engineering on 36. Broken Wolf on 99 and 137. Shout out. Double fisted it there. 1218 on 98. Anubis on 201. What's up, BW Burn on 701? Retrieving just says retrieving. Can't imagine that we've seen that anywhere before. Cruzito on 13, Paradigm on 20. What's going on? Riker, hello, hello. General Snowball on 12, Wristbreaker on 30, Manxman on 24, and from the best veil ever, TC on 15. What's going on? Funsucker on 701. Commander Taylor on 187. Vool on server 10. Keith on 49. General Lark on 34. Riker's Vengeance on 20. Anubis on 201. And the list goes on. Many, 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 many other messages. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate you guys all being here. Welcome into the show. Q says, I like it when he says all the disclaimers in fine print really fast. What disclaimer did I read right there? Tarpy, I don't know about what disclaimer I would have just read. What disclaimer did I read? I don't remember any disclaimers. I have no disclaimers. No, there are none. All right? We don't have any of them. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Tarpy, what disclaimer is he talking about? You're not muted. I didn't press the button. There's no buttons pressed. All the buttons are fine. Everything's great. Ripley, thank you for the resub. Appreciate that. Tony Pie for your pity bitties. Thank you so very much. Don Zeno with the 34-month resub. Thank you. Stone Homie, appreciate the follow. Warmonger, thank you for the follow. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys all being here. Disclaimer, sorry, Nebraska.
Feeling better today?
No, actually, I'm not. I'm feeling worse today.
Sound better.
Thank you. Appreciate that. No, I'm actually feeling much worse today. I don't know what it is. I'm super nauseous. Like, it very well may happen. All right. Yo, Super Hater, thank you for the 36-month resub. Appreciate that. Ripley for the 42-month resub. Appreciate that. No, it very well could end up happening that I just bailed. All right. Like, I just have to go to commercial break.
You don't have a bucket ready?
Disappear.
You should get a bucket ready.
I don't have a bucket. Don't even talk about it. Oh, God. Now it's in my...
What about that bowl with the marshmallows in it?
Let me just have a sip. I don't feel good tonight. I really don't. It's awful. I hate it. The nice, smooth taste of a Coca-Cola Zero. Appreciate that. Hey, speaking of, I have to let you know, Matters, that I reached out to the Coca-Cola company. Actually, I think I told you guys this. I reached out to several companies to help sponsor our creator cook-off in Hawaii. So far, I've actually gotten responses. All right. I've actually gotten, yeah.
Have they been positive?
Not mostly. Some of them, I have gotten responses. No, so Coca-Cola actually says that they're interested. All right, and I've sent them over some more media stuff, and the only other company that has responded positively, and by the way, not like Coca-Cola asked for more information. That's great, right? That's fantastic, but they're still on the fence, right? And Ford Motor Company, they just said no. Now, you know what? I got to be honest with you. Like, yo, All right. As much as I have, discussed or, talked about my background with the Ford Motor Company, like I kind of feel like this would have been a nice thing for them to do. But no, that didn't work out. No, the only
What did
company.
Dr. Pepper say?
Dr. Pepper. Well, I didn't reach out to Dr. Pepper specifically. I should probably. But the one company who
Dr.
said
Pepper meets Dr. Iron Chef.
the one
It just
company
writes itself.
who has said unequivocally yes. All right. Now, I don't know what this says. I don't know if I don't know if I should feel good about this. I don't know if I should feel bad about this. I don't know if it's a direct reflection on our demographic. I don't know if it's a reflection on the community, the audience. I have no idea. The only company who has said unequivocally yes was Budweiser. Budweiser said yes. All right. Yeah.
They said, hold my beer.
They did. That's exactly what they said. Oh, let's go. Yeah, that's exactly. They were like, hey, listen, can we just talk about beer? And I'm like, yeah, obviously. As a matter of fact, we'll cook with it. All right. We'll cook with Budweiser. All right. That'll be our secret ingredient. Funny enough, Burton, I had Griffin reach out to the Ghost Energy people since his relationship was them. And they have not responded back to him yet. However, Griffin has been very busy, so maybe they've responded. I don't know. And he just hasn't had a check because Griffin is in Los Angeles this week. Now, I just wanted to go on record. It's not me. It's not me this time. I am not in Los Angeles, okay? So if the November arc sucks, it is not my fault. It's not me. It's not me. It is not me. Griffin is the one in Los Angeles this time, okay? So if November is bad, then just letting you know, not my fault, okay?
You're instilling so much confidence right now.
Actually, I'm really not supposed to talk about this. Anyway, I play tested it today. And there are a lot of things that you guys are going to be able to blame PAC for. Just so much. And I just can't wait. I can't wait. Let me go on the record and say unequivocally, PAC wrote this whole arc. Okay. Hold on, sense my sarcasm before anybody takes this out of context. PAC wrote the whole arc. Anything that you don't like, blame PAC. All right. They made all the decisions, all the monetization. All right. All the monetization. It was all at the behest of PAC. And I want everybody.
You forgot to hold up your sarcasm sign.
I want everybody to know. Okay. I can't even get through it. I was trying to get through it with a straight face. I can't do it. No, so I did get to play test it today. It worked. It worked. So that's a good thing, right? I mean,
That is step one. That is step one.
It worked. It did work. All right. That is step one. All right. So anyway, it was an interesting time. I enjoyed the feature. I look forward to sharing with you a little bit more about it. So we will be leaking a few things as the month goes on. But we've got stuff going on this month, right here and now, that we've got to discuss before we even start to think about next month. All right. So there's a lot of that stuff that we can get into. Thank you so very much. Let me say thank you. Listen, the alerts are not on, guys. The alerts are not on because it's a pod. Okay. Scud just played the Beck what is wrong with you DJs thing right there. Thank you. Benny Hill, thank you for your bits. Tony Pye for the bits. Thank you. Lost In for the bits. 300 of them. Thad, thank you. Tier 2, 36 months. What you doing, baby? Thank you. Papa Smurf, thanks for the bits. Lost In for more bits. I Crazy with the 31-month resub. Thank you so very much. You guys make me so happy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tarpy, good evening. Thad rocks. Thad rocks. What's that? Polar Bear says it can't be worse than an AI-created feature. Where did we have an AI created feature? Oh my God, you guys are in a hype train. Well, thanks so much. Oh, come on. And Venadia, why would you clip that? Of all things to clip, you can't clip that. That was just me having a little bit of fun. Total sarcasm. This is what happens. This is what happens in the press, okay? You can't do this, and Venadia. This is what happens. You know, you talk for like an hour, and then one sentence is clipped out, and it makes headlines, okay? Why would you clip that? That's terrible. Don't clip that. All right, now everybody's going to be mad at me. And
why would you say it?
It was sarcasm.
Oops.
iCrazy says, DJz, after 31 months, it's just crazy. Ignore the I. Okay, I'm sorry, iCrazy. The name says iCrazy. I just read words. DJz means you mean more mad. Stewie wants to bonk me with a stick. No, you don't get to bonk me with a stick. I'm the only one that bonks around here, okay? I bonk everything. Oh, God. See?
Someone clip that, please. God, and Venadia, we need you.
Good evening. Welcome. We're starting the show Check. Why am I not saying your name right? He Check writes, iCrazy, it's okay. He can't pronounce mine either. Is your name not Check? Your name's Check, right? Or is it Zek? It always said Check. Here, phonetically spell it for Zek. It's Zek. Oh, I had that way wrong. How many years have you been following my channel? My bad, dude. My fault. Zek. I'll remember that one now. Crazy, I'm going to remember yours too. Hi, Ice Wolf. How are you? Good evening. Appreciate it. Thank you. Zach has been following the channel for nearly 2 years, and I've said his name wrong this entire time. That reminds me of when I finally got corrected on K9 Tooth's name. I always called him K92. You remember? And finally, he came in and was like, dude, bro, it's like K9, like a dog. And I'm like, oh, I got it. And then he sent me a hat. He sent me a hat with K9 and a little dog symbol on it. So now I always remember. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's going on, everybody? Don Zeno says, a prisoner, according to Reacher, the movie, the Zek, as in Jack Reacher. Wait, there was a movie? Wait, I think I know that. Was the Reacher movie the one that Tom Cruise played in? See, I like the Reacher TV series. I watched the Reacher TV series first with that big guy, all right? And now
Alan Rickman.
Ah, he's brilliant, right? Richton? Well, we say names wrong around here. It's fine. So Alan Rickton, Rich. All right, I can't. Now, I'm sorry.
You can't pronounce anything right today.
Can I just say, I cannot watch Alan Richton. Did I say that right? Richton. I cannot watch. Wait, I didn't. I still said it wrong. How do you say his name? Richt.
Isn't it Richson?
I just said Richton.
Richson.
It's not no, the Ice Wolf says Rickman. Is it Rickman? Okay, either way.
Rickman is Alan Rickman, like Snape. And
Richson.
Alexander Dane from Galaxy Quest.
There's so many pronunciations in chat. Why do you guys see? You guys can't blame me for this. All right? There's 38 different pronunciations in chat right now.
7.
yeah, whatever. We're just going to call him.
Blame you for whatever we want, man.
Alan
you bop
67.
Everything.
Richson. Benny Hill says Richson. Joe says Richson.
That's what I said.
Okay, all right. The chat said you were wrong. I'm going to go with it. Richson. Alan Richson. First of all, you can't watch Alan Richson as Reacher and then go back and watch Tom Cruise's Reacher. I'm sorry. You can't. All right. First of all, there's a height difference of like 3.5 feet and like just a build factor of like 6x. Okay. You can't do it. So I watched the Amazon show first, and he was such a good Reacher. And then I realized there was a movie with Tom Cruise, and I'm like, I'm not even going to watch it. There's no sense in watching it. I will be disappointed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to be disappointed. So I can't watch it now. There's 2 Reacher movies. Did Tom Cruise play in both of them? Because that's both movies I won't watch. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I can't do it. So Lee Child says Wham. The author of the Jack Reacher novels has expressed mixed feelings about Tom Cruise's portrayal of the character. While he praised Cruise's acting talent and work ethic, he ultimately agreed with fans that Cruise was not the right physical fit for the role. Yeah, Alan Ritchson is a phenomenal Reacher. Have they put out a second or a third season of that yet? I know there were 2 seasons, right? There were 2 seasons. I've watched both of those, but I think there's a third one that either is coming out soon or just came out. Rose says, I hope there is a third season. No, I know there's a third season. I just don't know if it's actually been released yet. Retrieving says that it is out, and they've already renewed a 4th season. Okay, Retrieving might be incorrect. He said the 3rd one is out, but Chris said the 3rd is filming. Shiz says it is already out, and the 4th season's in development. Well, that makes me excited. That makes me excited.
Just post the IMDb link.
I like
it. Let's sort this.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and end the show so we can go binge watch Reacher season 3. All right. I also, chat, realized today that there is a movie that we need to watch. Aside from K-pop Demon Hunters, which we also have to do, we also have to watch Snowpiercer. All right. How many people have heard of the movie Snowpiercer? We're going to get to STFC
The
here in just a
TV
second.
show was better.
I've heard of
Is
the
that the
TV
Chris
show.
Evans one?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Don't know anything about
The
it.
TV show was more
Daniel
in-depth.
Craig one.
Except, here's the only thing that Chris Evans is in Snowpiercer. That's
Or was it
amazing.
Daniel Craig?
The movie is from 2013. Heard it, never seen of it. Or heard of it, never seen it. The movie had Chris Evans in it. Okay, fantastic. RSDJ
TV
says,
has
don't
Sean
watch
Bean
the movie.
for their-
Don't watch the movie, just watch the series only. So it's going to be like another Reacher kind of thing. I'm going to be disappointed in the movie. Anyway, here's why we're going to have to catch up on that. Because there is a game coming out that apparently, and I've never heard of Snowpiercer. I've never watched it. I didn't know anything about it. But there was a game company that's reached out, Tarpy, for us to play early access of a new game. And
cool.
Yes. And so I watched the trailer earlier today, and apparently it's very much like Snowpiercer, the movie or the TV show. All right. Apparently it's like that. There's a train in a post-apocalyptic
Are you first
world.
class, second class, or in the tail?
No, we start in 3rd class. Okay, I was able to pick that much up. We start in 3rd class, and we're taking over the train. We gotta move through the other classes and take it over.
Oh, we're in the tail.
Yeah. So this gaming studio reached out to me actually earlier today, and I watched the trailer for the video, and I'm like, ooh, that actually looks kind of cool. I shared it in chat with you guys. I said, hey, is this a game that we should do? Lady Unileska immediately said, no, it's going to make me motion sick. All right. So it is. And I will say the trailer was very jumpy around. It looks like a first-person shooter, but it was all over the place. There was so many weird camera angles, and the way they did it. I can see how that might make somebody
but the
motion
ads
sick.
don't always go with the game. We know that.
No, what are you talking about? Ads always represent the game perfectly.
Sure, Karkin.
Yeah, come on. Where would you ever come of such a weird thought that ads don't match the game? That's ridiculous, Karkin. Come on now. We know better.
At this point, I even doubt it's a first-person shooter.
So we are going to, I actually, let me just tell you, I took the time to go through all of my emails today. And answered a lot of DMs on Discord. I didn't get through all the DMs, but I did check a lot of emails. Let me just tell you real quick, a couple of the emails that I got today. This is terrible. All right. This is absolutely terrible. I really should check my email more often. All right. We had an email from Entertainment Cruise Productions. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Had an email from ECP about Star Trek The Cruise. So very excited about that. Had an email from this gaming company on this new Snowpiercer game, all right, which I'm looking forward to. Had an email from the people who make, what's the studio that makes Angry Birds? Apparently Angry Birds 2 is coming out next month, and they retrieving. Now, let me just say, hey, Scopely, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. All right. They came out. No, sorry, not Angry Birds 2. There's a new DLC, a new patch or something that's coming next month. I think it's a DLC, something they're doing in space. It's a space feature. Okay. Angry Birds 2 previewed at TwitchCon. Well, they're all in it right now. They're
How do you
all
throw
in
birds in space?
I don't know. Listen, all I did was read the email where they offered way too much money. Just way too much money for us to play this game. So, okay. Sure. I responded to that email. I was like, yes. All right. I did it on a mechanical keyboard as well. All right. Stupid amount of money. All right. Angry Birds 2 Space, says Cookie Monster. Well, they must have a big old budget. All right. So that was fantastic. That actually, shout out, that actually came through Twitch. Twitch actually selected us for that, I guess, based on our play history and our audience and all that stuff, our audience size. So, again, shout out to you guys, chat, the community. You guys are great. The audience numbers and everything that you guys turn out for, that is phenomenal. General Arc, they offered, yeah, and there's going to be drops. They're going to give you guys extra content and all this stuff. It's going to be ridiculous. And by the way, it's not even, they're just paying for a stream. Like, there's no objectives. Like, I don't have to get so many people to download. I don't have to get, we don't have to play to level 10 or any of that stuff. They're just paying. All right. Which is phenomenal. All right. So I'm very excited about sharing that with you guys. Cruzito said that game launches tomorrow. Okay. You know what? That is consistent. That actually makes sense because my promotional window starts tomorrow and runs through November the 7th. So that's how long I've got to bring that game to you guys. So we're going to be doing that. And if in case you were thinking about wanting to download that game or play or whatever, hang on, because they're going to give us a bunch of swag. All right. They're going to give us codes. They're going to give us some DLC stuff. And you guys are going to get some cool custom in-game stuff, some bonus stuff. So that should be pretty cool. And I'll be bringing that to you guys here in the next week or two as well. Let's see. What other emails did I get? Oh, there was like 2 or 3 other games. And crazy enough, some of the games actually look good. There was 1 or 2 of them I wasn't interested in. But there was another game that actually looked really good. Oh, and a brand new party game, which we're going to do. I took this one. It's a brand new party game. It looks a lot like Jackbox, but it apparently will allow up to 100 people to play simultaneously here on Twitch. So that's going to be fun. I can imagine that is just going to be pure chaos. Yeah, matters. 100 participants. So I'm sure that is going to be an absolutely chaotic evening. So we'll do that. So anyway, yeah, I checked through all the emails. All the packs went out. All the battle passes are out. It was a good, productive day for me. Mrs. Boss would be thrilled. I did absolutely nothing at the dealership. So that's actually not true. I worked my tail off today. Just throwing that out there. There's like a 10% chance she's watching tonight. I actually messaged her just a little bit ago and asked if she wanted to play Fortnite tonight. She still hasn't decided that she's going to do that. But I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. So anyway, then I got home. I made a sandwich. I got into STFC and got a little bit excited. Got a little bit excited because then I come into the game, Tarpy, and I see a brand new battle pass. And then I see that I'm successfully mining in the Veil, and then I'm getting points for that. And then I see that I'm successfully killing level 71s, and that makes me excited. And then I got to make fun of Stewie earlier for being squishy. That made me feel really good. And so there was just lots of fun happening today. Okay, Vic says we've got 5 battle passes active. Great, give me 10. Give me 10, Vic. We're going to talk about this. Let's go ahead and get into our first segment here tonight because, Tarpy, this actually surprised. It shouldn't surprise me. It really shouldn't surprise me. I don't know why I'm surprised. But I saw people today very fussy in the chat. I need to ask why. Enterprise says, be careful what you wish for. I genuinely need to know. I genuinely need to know. Tarpy, explain it to me. Why are people fussy that there is another battle pass up here? Mad Hatter says it's a money grab. Okay. Okay.
So
explain
I don't
it to me.
hold that opinion.
Explain
I can't.
it to me.
I can try.
Okay, please try.
Like, so I think the main thing that people were serious about was that this is a paid replacement for events that were canceled that were not the player's fault. So,
Okay.
Trash Points, for example, had not great, but consistent premium dust sourcing and officer sourcing. And again, the rewards were not great, and the event obviously was just canned. So we don't have it anymore.
Okay.
But that was free, in theory. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of extra work. And it was 3 days, and it was stressful. Okay, so I think people are mad that the free source of something went away. But
what specifically? Are you talking about premium dust?
yeah.
Well, we have that in Alliance tournaments right now, right? And by the way,
Well,
let me come back in this, and then I'm going to come back to you here in just a second, Tarpy. And by the way,
yes.
General Arc says, let me do it. Let me do it. If you want to come up on stage, I'm totally willing to hear you out, as long as you're ready to sit down. All right. But I did see that Cruzito and I had this conversation here about a couple of weeks ago. And honestly, in all fairness, Cruzito, we never circled back around to finish this project. We did talk about it, and we got probably halfway through. Then the ARC, and then G7 happened, and it's been crazy ever since, right? It's been very busy ever since. But Cruzito, one of the things we had talked about was that everything that we used to see sourced in a certain way has made its way into the game in other ways. And Cruzito, I'd love to invite you up to the stage to talk more about this project, because we got about halfway through and we didn't finish it. But everything that we did go through, we had found alternative sourcing in a lot of other ways. So I wonder then if this is more of a deviation from normal, right? A deviation from what we're used to. And Tarpy, that brought up an interesting thought with me earlier today, which is, are we such creatures of habit that we are unwilling to allow sourcing to come in different ways? You know, and I think that is a question that we've got to look at. Now, amounts may not be the same, and I get that. And we'll always want to take more. I get that.
Right.
You know, so
I think it really is that people have an idea of, and everybody's idea is different, and everybody wants to finish content, and I absolutely get that. And then they put they put a time frame on it, and then they say this content needs to be done or maxed in exactly this amount of time. And if it's not maxed in exactly this amount of time, or within a week or two, I'm going to be mad. And so what my acceptable time frame would be for that content might be different than someone else's acceptable time frame. So then the shorter that time frame is, the more mad people get when Scopely is not meeting their expectation that they have formed for that particular thing. Does that make sense?
Okay. So DJz says it kind of comes down to they replaced a heroic with a battle pass. And I can kind of see that. I do see that perspective. But
everybody gets this now.
Right.
And
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Hit Syndicate 55, you didn't get that free thing anymore. And this battle pass is not for people above Syndicate 55. Like, the amount that's in there just is nothing compared to what we need. I just hit 57 this morning, ironically, and I have 22 million before 58.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and this battle pass, just for the record, this battle pass, if you spend the $20 on it, right, is only going to get you 1.5 million. 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Now, if we take this back to the paid events that we talked about the month before, I think it was the month before or maybe last month, I don't recall, where they had those 4 events, and you guys had talked about them being the ticketed paid events, and I had kind of pitched to Scopely that, hey, there needs to be a free entry, right? There needs to be a free entry. Riskbreaker said it was 3 million. Actually, it wasn't. It was 4.5 million. It's 4.5 million, but it was $100. 4.5 million for $100. Okay. And it also required you to go out and grind. Well, even then, hey, Jason, thanks for the sub. Even then, we had kind of identified that dollar for dollar, dollar for pack, that the 4.5 million was 50% more. Because right now, if you go and look at the Syndicate pack, it's 3 million. Now, the better part of that conversation was what eventually did happen. All right, which was, hey, maybe it's not worth it to you. Tarpy just said that. I need 22 million. Is that worth me spending $100 to get 4 million of it? Does that mean that syndicate level is worth $600? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
I don't feel like it. But
I have a mortgage.
yeah, $600 for another level of syndicate? Probably not, right? But we do see sourcing coming in, and Scopely does not seem to be changing the value of their Syndicate XP for post 55. I know that is a big complaint. And by the way, I'm kind of there. All right, $100 before might have bought me 1 or 2 levels of Syndicate. Now it buys me a fraction of a Syndicate level. I know that is a valid complaint and allows players then to determine the worth. All right, but as far as the way the Scopely is breaking it down as far as dollar, and we've had this conversation too. They've got a spreadsheet. Everything has a value, which we don't agree with on a bunch of stuff. All right, we don't agree with that stuff as a community most of the time. Scopely very much overvalues a lot of their currencies. Look at Pioneer's Crest, for example. All right, so we look at these things and we say, okay, not worth it to us, but that is okay, right? That is the perspective. Now, a month ago, retrieving, here's where I'm drawing full circle. A month ago, they had a $100 pack that allowed you to grind and earn 4.5 million Syndicate XP. Now, I went back and I said, hey, fine. If you want to monetize that way, and by the way, $100, as Griffin says in the chat, what's up, buddy? How are you? $100 can buy you 3 million, okay, in the standard pack. So if $100 buys you 4.5 million, it's 50% boost. That's fine if somebody feels the value and the worth in that, okay? But if you recall, what we said on this stage is, hey, you had 4 events. We could have given 1 free one. Yeah, we could have given 1 free, right? And let people pay for the other 3. And that would have given several 100,000 Syndicate XP. Well, Scopely said they weren't going to do that during that event. Now, let's look at this battle pass. And retrieving, this is where I'm going to draw it for full circle. All right? We didn't see them give a free ticketed event during the $100 Syndicate XP grind. We didn't see that. We asked for it. We didn't get it. Or did we? Not then. But let's look at what you can get now for free. And then we'll look at the dollar amounts for what you can get if you decide to spend. If you take a look inside your Syndicate Pass, if you go with the absolute free track up top, you're at 390,000 Syndicate XP. 390,000, absolutely free. Okay? And by the way, I'm going to even argue, retrieving, there is no grind, 0 effort. Absolutely nothing extra. Because let's take a look at what this event is. Syndicate Pass, Mining Mastery, Dock Materials. Yikes. I hate mining. But you know what? My Ferengi Battle Pass also says to dock materials. And look, the milestones are exactly the same. And then I'm going to come into my regular Battle Pass because we all believe that is the absolute best value on the face of the earth. And it is also a mining event. Interesting. So in other words, what we are saying, no, retrieving, I know. I do not think you're complaining. I'm agreeing with you in chat and I'm drawing it around. No extra effort. Full synergy. We're doing this stuff anyway.
And DJ, you want to talk about full synergy? If you do this and you can collect the day and you collect it every day and get that little bit extra of Syndicate, even if you are below Syndicate 55, you now can do Syndicate 10K task for free. Bam, you've got 5 10K tasks done if you just do it every day and collect it.
Interesting. You mean to tell me that I can go in, claim 1 free milestone, and finish a Syndicate task?
As long as you do all of your other Syndicate collections, that will be just enough to get you over the hump to 225,000 points or whatever it is for that milestone. If you're above Syndicate, if you're 55 and above, it's simply just 1 click because your daily Syndicate is going to collect it. But below 55 Syndicate, you need all of your sources, and depending on your research and all of the favors, you may squeak by and get it on your own, but you may need to have a little bit of help. For months now, for a year now, Karkin and I have been stating, that one's doable if you just had a few thousand more Syndicate per day, and that 30K of Syndicate per milestone, that fits the bill quite nicely.
Now, I do also want to point out that we are drawing, as a community, a lot of comparisons to Syndicate Advancement. When was the last time we saw that event?
So that is very dependent on your Syndicate level.
Yeah, it's still running.
Yeah. So if you are over Syndicate level 55, 55 and over, you do not see that anymore. And this was where some other people's criticisms came in of this Battle Pass, because they wanted to have, and I get this complaint as well, they want to have that Syndicate event where it was, once you were done with the original Syndicate expansion or whatever expansion we were on, you got a task where you had to just do a bunch of armadas. And it was really easy to get, 40? Correct the number. I think it was like 20 to 40 officer shards and a bunch of premium dust. And it was a really, really nice deal. And that event, once they expanded the Syndicate to 65, they took that away from anyone 55, Syndicate 55 and above. And they kept it for people Syndicate 55 and below. So you had to work your claims for 3 days, 2 days, but you could do 3 days worth of claims in that 48-hour period.
Now,
to get officer shards and premium dust, and usually free to play could get to milestone 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Moreover, I have seen a rather interesting, cute little giggly assumption that I see right here in the chat right now. Is that they said, well, that event paid me 60 officer shards and 1,200 in premium mirror dust every single week. No, it didn't. We never got that event every single week. That event never ran every week.
It was 3 weeks. There were months where it ran every week of the Battle Pass for like 2 to 3 months.
So 2 or 3 months over the last year, 2 years makes that precedent?
Well, they ramped it up, right? I mean, starting in like if we look at a year over, right, we would get it maybe 1 time a month or 2 times a month,
Right.
if we were lucky. And then somewhere around April or May, we saw it for a 3rd time.
Okay.
And then we saw it like June, like July, August. We saw it 3, and I think 1 month was 4 times, like it was running every week. So it looked like it was ramping up, but obviously that was to help push us into the Syndicate expansion.
Exactly.
Right?
There you go. Thank you, Putz. Nail on the head. What have they been doing with G6 over the last 6 months? What have they been doing?
Obviously pushing us. I mean,
and expanding.
Look at me.
Yeah, they've been pushing, they've been expanding, they've been dumping materials and resources. All right. So, yeah, Lost It says it ran every day for 25 years. All right. I mean, I know we tend to remember things weirdly like that, but that wasn't the case. Now, regardless of what you want to say with Syndicate Advancement, because a lot of you still have it, which I didn't even realize. That makes me very jelly. All right. Didn't even realize that was still a thing. 55 plus, it stops. So, pal, maybe they can do that. If you're below Syndicate 55, you can still earn those rewards. Guess what? It'll stop eventually. Okay? Because we believe in rewarding prior progress here. So, at Syndicate 55, it stops. And it has stopped. Okay? It stopped months ago. Okay? Stopped months ago. So the fact that we have a form of Syndicate Advancement, and by the way, this is where we're drawing the comparison. For 55 plus, Syndicate Advancement turned into the $100 ticketed events. Let's not get this twisted. Okay? Once you hit Syndicate 55, your new Syndicate Advancement event cost you $100 if you wanted to play in it. Period. And we asked for a free drip. Didn't get it. Not then. Now we do. And this is why I say we are fickle. We are scared of change. Sometimes we don't understand things when they're new. This is a direct response. And by the way, directly from the author of this Battle Pass, this is verbatim. This is what you asked for, DJ. All right. I know it's going to look a little different, but this is how we made it work. And I hope that this will satisfy you. Guess what? Abso-freaking-lutely does. 100%, 100% happy guy right here. Why would I be? Well, for 55 plus, there's not been any Syndicate Advancement for months. All right. And by the way, retrieving, you say, is this the replacement for Syndicate Advancement? There hasn't been one. Yes, it is the replacement for Syndicate Advancement for 55 plus, which is great because Syndicate Advancement died with the Syndicate expansion. It died. Now, 54 and down, you still have it. Tarpy, am I correct in understanding? Did I hear you right? That 54 and down to this day still get this event? Syndicate Advancement?
I believe so. I don't personally.
Jeff says no one has it.
No.
I don't mean today. I mean even last arc. Did you guys get Syndicate Advancement last arc? I don't mean this moment, guys.
Apparently it's dead.
Is it dead? Is it dead? Because that's not what you guys said. Is it dead for the whole game?
Okay, so
you
what
haven't seen it this arc.
Is confusing.
The chat. You guys are not consistent, guys.
Syndicate. Yeah. So what what ops and Syndicate level are you if you saw it?
Fatalwood says, I've never seen it. Well, it's been around. It's been around.
Breaker, we know. We know. We are
be confused about which event you're talking about. I think they're thinking about the max when the people who get to max at the 55 Syndicate previously got that artifact event. I think that's the one he might be referring to.
No.
Yeah, no, that's not what he's saying. But I'm gonna give you the answer here, chat. All right, I'm gonna give you the answer. If Syndicate Advancement is dead for 54 and down, I don't know. All right, I did not know that. Well, honestly, I thought it was already dead. If I can just be honest with you, I thought it was already dead. I thought when Syndicate expansion for 55 plus happened, that all the Syndicate advancement ended. That was my understanding, which is why then they came out with $100 Syndicate events, and we complained. All right? And then we get this. Now, the reason, regardless of Syndicate advancement, I'm not going to draw any more comparisons to that. All right? Because, by the way, Syndicate advancement didn't pay Syndicate. So we are comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah,
but regardless.
Right. I literally said that. It paid officer shards and premium dust.
Yeah.
Dust for gaining Syndicate XP.
That's right.
Or doing armadas.
Which you could do, by the way, with your battle pass, your flash pass, things like that. All right? But regardless, what you have here, and I'm going to draw the direct, that's why I say I'm not going to compare to Syndicate advancement of months ago because I thought it was already dead. What I am comparing to is the $100 ticketed Syndicate events that we've had for the last 3 months. This is their direct replacement for that, and it is giving you, quote unquote, a free ticket. The math is identical. How is the math identical, DJs? Well, the free track for doing absolutely nothing gives you 390,000 Syndicate. Okay? Doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, you're doing your other battle pass. You're maybe doing your Ferengi pass. If you're not, why not? Okay? You're doing all of that. You have zero effort here. You're getting 390,000 Syndicate. You're also getting a few extra little pieces. You got 150. You got Pioneer's Crest in here. Let's get excited. Just kidding. All right, you get 150 premium dust, nothing to write home about, and you're getting 8 Walk Scotty shards. Free to play. Okay? Absolutely free.
And if we want to compare this to the old Syndicate advancement event, the first two milestones, I think that's comparable. 8 shards and 150 premium dust for the first 2 milestones.
Thank you.
If you're going to compare those, hello.
There you go.
And if you get more premium dust in the paid track, that's only $20 to get the extra premium dust from the old event. Wouldn't you have had to have purchased more than $20 worth of packs, even if you wanted to do it with multi-phasics?
Yes, that is correct. However,
okay,
I am going to come back and say I'm not drawing any more comparison to Syndicate advancement. All right. I like the fact that you're pointing out that the officer shards were a reward, but that is not the comparison that I'm going to run here.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to look
what I'm saying is that they kind of took Syndicate advancement rewards and kind of beefed them up and gave you actually Syndicate stuff as well as a replacement if you want to compare the two.
Now, Scud says I'm only getting 5 Scotty. You got to look inside the bundles. That top row actually gives 2 rewards. So if you open up your Syndicate Pass, even though it only shows the Syndicate on the top row, if you click inside, you actually see extra. And in milestone number 3, you've got 3 Scotty shards. And then in milestone number 6, you've got another 5. So there's your 8 Scotty shards. Also in milestone 2, you have 50 premium dust. And in milestone 5, you got another 100. So there's your 150. Now, we can earn 390,000 Syndicate, absolutely free, 8 Scotty shards, 150 premium dust. Perfect. Okay. We can go into the store. We can spend $19 if you want. And by the way, I'm totally fine. I say this a lot. I have to remind people that I say this, and I've never deviated from it. I'm fine with Scopely selling anything. As long as it doesn't detract from the value that players are receiving through engagement. They can sell anything they want till the cows come home. They are indeed a business. Give them warehouse space. Like, they could be as big as a Sam's Club. Put everything on the shelf. Sell everything. Well, not everything, but they do. But, I mean, we don't have to sell everything. But they can sell whatever they want. They're the retailer. You're the customer. You get to decide what you're going to spend. You look at your budget, you look at what is worth things to you, and you decide if you're going to spend. I am fine with them making things available to sell. As a matter of fact, if I'm looking at this, for example, as compared to blood's going to boil, as compared to the Disco Prime 3 years ago, what should they sell? I've got Disco Prime in one hand that literally prohibits people from being able to functionally use a ship in their generation. And then I've got a Battle Pass that gives free stuff to everybody, but a little bit more, a little bit faster completion, a little bit faster advancement for somebody who spends. I mean, if you've listened to my content for any more than a couple of months, you know where I'm going to stand on that. My belief of good monetization should always be just simply acceleration. It should never be quality of life. It should never be convenience. All right? It should be acceleration. I want everybody to have access to everything, but I'm willing to pay to accelerate that access. I'm willing to pay for the premium access. I'm willing to pay to use it now, or to use it faster, or to use it better. That is what every game company should strive for in their monetization model. Now, Scopely does a lot of things wrong. Battle passes will never be one as long as there's a free track. Load me up with 10 battle passes. 15, 20, don't care. Put 20 of them in there as long as there's a free track. And then I'll buy what I find value in. Okay? I want all the battle passes. A battle pass for you, a battle pass for you, a battle pass for you, battle pass for you, battle pass for you. Okay? And they are kind of getting that way, right? I mean, we've got the territory pass, we got the wave defense pass, we got the regular pass, we got the Ferengi pass, now we got the Syndicate pass. We've got 5 passes. What's not to love? Because every single one of them have a free track. Every single one of them are giving you something for doing normal routine engagement that you may or may not be doing. For example, I'm not doing territory capture. Okay? That's a pass I ignore. I don't really care. All right? But Ferengi, intense value, incredible value for me. Regular battle pass, that's where all the materials and resources come from. That's a no-brainer. Okay, got to do that. And now the Syndicate Pass. Well, now I'm going to look. Let's do the math. 390,000 absolutely free. Great. Thanks, Scopes. I appreciate the gift of 390,000 Syndicate. But for $20, I unlock my bottom row. Well, what comes in the bottom row? Remember, I'm comparing. Thanks, Putz. Hang on. I am comparing the Syndicate Pass to the $100 Syndicate grind from the last 3 months. If I decide to go on the bottom row, I am picking up Putz.
1.17 million, I do believe.
You are correct. 1.17 million. DJz says no value for $20. Debatable, but personal decision. Personal decision. All right? You get to determine that worth for yourself, as we do with every other pack in the game. Every other pack in the game. Riskbreaker quoted me in chat here just a few minutes ago and said, DJ, I remember when the $100 Syndicate Pass came out, when we figured out that it was 4.5 million Syndicate for $100, when $100 normally gives 3 million. Mathematically, it's there. But the question then became, right? Well, if I need 22 million, is $100 worth 4.5 million? Now, at the time, Riskbreaker is accurately quoting me where I said, you know what? If that $100 pack came back, which it didn't the first run, if that $100 pack came back and I could get 4.5 million Syndicate XP, I would do it. Then it came back. So Then it came back. So I had to put my money where my mouth was. I bought the pack. All right. In hindsight, I don't know if I would do it again. I might. Because Tarpy's right. 22 million to get to my next level. All right. So do I want to spend $100 on 4.5 million? That basically puts that next value at what, Tarpy? $500? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. But that's a decision.
For $20, you're getting 1.17. Multiply that by 5. This is actually a even better value than your 4.5 million for 100.
Well, but I can't buy it 5 times. I only get it once. All right.
You can't.
And by the
Right,
way,
but I'm just saying.
And by the way, I am actually not getting 1.17. I'm getting 1.5 million exactly. Why? Because I'm still getting the 390,000 for free. So I'm getting 1.17 down below. I'm getting 1.5 million for $20. I can get 390,000 for free. But if I throw $20 in the hat, I'm getting 1.56 million. Well, that is mathematically a better value than $100 for 4.5 million. But Scopely did in fact say, hold my beer. Just kidding. They tried to say hold my beer because they did also offer a $100 pack. Okay? They're offering a $100 pack right here that, golly gee darn, does indeed have the other 3 million. Ha ha! That puts us back to the 4.5 million for $100, just like we saw last month. And by the way, thank you. I just got popped, didn't I? By the way, we also saw last month, if you guys will remember, go back and find the show, that not only did you get 4.5 million for the $100, you also got a 200% station pack. You guys remember? It was a 200% station pack, literally doubled. Okay? So, is this pack a 200% station pack? How many, Risk Breaker, how many G7 uncommon materials are you getting in your regular station pack? Kaviji says it is not 200% on Sigma Steel. Daggone it. Dagnabbit. Okay, we do have a good number of Sigma speed ups. We got some Sigma Steel. We're getting 7-star material for G7 players. Loads of G6. Now, let me tell you, this G6, it's definitely 200%. 3,300 on the uncommons. Rares are 860. Okay, so yeah, not 200% there. All right, Warlock says this one's not a 200%. I would be curious. Spock says, wait, it's a 50% pack? No, 50% boost or 50%. It's a 50%. Okay, then you know what? I'm going to tell you right now that we pull no punches here. Okay, when a pack is good, we'll talk about it. When the pack is bad, we'll talk about that. $100 pack here looks like they missed the mark.
So you're looking at the Ultra Station Upgrade pack.
You got
as a
it.
comparison, right?
Yes, Ultra Station Upgrade. What do you got in yours?
G6 Rare in that $100 pack is $1,720.
Oh, Scopes, you missed the mark. You missed the mark. Because Risk Breaker's going to remember. All right, he's remembered everything here so far, so I'm glad that you're my witness here. And by the way, I mean, it's on the interwebs. You can go find it. All right. When they ran the $100 ticketed Syndicate events, it was 4.5 million Syndicate, but it was also a $200 station pack. So if we look this month, we see the Syndicate Battle Pass. We see the $100 pack. We actually see less value in the $100 pack this time. But as Putz points out, the bang for your buck falls in the $20 pack. Now, Tarpy, we have begged Scopely for years and years to introduce quality, cheaper packs. Let me ask you, accident or not, on this $100 pack, because I think that that's probably a mistake. Scopely probably needs to buff that. But accident or not, is this $20 pack worth it monetarily? Probably. Is it worth it to you as a consumer?
How much Syndicate do you get it in?
Oh,
Scroll up to the top.
oh, in this pack?
No,
What?
yeah, in this pack.
Well, this
In
one,
this pack.
this one would be 3 million. So this one
Okay, so
gives you the same 4.5 million, but you're missing 50% of the
Right.
materials and resources.
also it is exactly the same as the regular $100 station pack, but not station, Syndicate
Pack. That's right.
So it is exactly the same, plus the Battle Pass purchase.
So again, I'm going to come back and say, compared to the last run, the $100 pack is too weak. It's not the same value. But the $20 pack, on the other hand, dollar for dollar, cents for cents. Okay? Worth it. Now, Warlock says, DJ's my $100 pack is only 500,000 Syndicate. This, again, comes to the Syndicate break of 55. All right. When we're talking about 4.5 million, that was always for 55 plus. Even when they were selling the $100 Syndicate packs last month, the 54s and down had a reduced number. Okay. And that Syndicate amount is holding. All right. That Syndicate amount is holding. What I'm actually seeing here in this $100 pack is a shortage in resources and materials. So, Tarpy, if I was going to buy on the Syndicate Season Pass, if I am going to buy on it, it's going to be on the $20 version, hands down. No holds barred. The $100 pack is missing value. The $20 pack has the value if you feel that 1.5 million Syndicate is worth $20. I probably do.
I mean, you do get another 25 epic shards. So in the $100 pack, if you include
That's
what
true.
you get in the battle pass, you're getting 50 epic shards, which is
Well, you're absolutely right,
in itself
actually.
a lot
Yeah.
for $100.
You're right, because the $100 ticketed Syndicate events did not have officer shards in them. It was just resources and materials. So that's a good point.
And the 750 premium does. But my question is, are the milestone payouts in Syndicate the same if you're Syndicate 55 plus versus if you are lower, right? Are they getting 30K free to play each time?
Well, that's a good point. Let's ask somebody who's 54 and down in your Syndicate. What's your top row look like? Top row looks like what? Is it 30, 30, 60, 60, 60, 150? Probably not. I'm going to guess it's probably not. Clark says top row's 225,000 as compared to 390. You know, even that is better because didn't it used to be half? I think it used to be half, right? So even that is not. Hey, Outlaw, I see that. Will you go back and screenshot for me your Syndicate Pass? I see your pack. Show me your Syndicate Pass if you don't care. All right. You know, funny story is, for those below Syndicate 54, 1.5 million Syndicate XP gets you so much further than it does after 55. Nera says you're getting 25, 25, 50, 50, 50, 75. 25, 25. Yeah, so you're getting more than half. I mean, honestly, I feel like your value's probably better than ours. To be perfectly honest with you, you're getting more than half, but the milestones expanded by like 8x, right, Tarpy? I mean, they went up, like you said, it's 22 million between levels. So, yeah, I would say bang for your buck wise, you guys actually have better value. You're getting more. Let's put it this way. When I say value, you are getting more progression for your $20 than we're getting. You know what? I'm not upset about that. Maybe a little bit jelly, but I'm not mad about it. They're accelerating you. They're accelerating you.
And you can't avoid it. unless you literally do not do the regular battle pass, you literally cannot avoid getting the free track of this battle pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as Lady Inaleska reminded me in chat earlier, even if you don't claim them, it will be auto-claimed for you at the end of the pass. So you can't avoid it. So just accept the free stuff.
Take
for
the free
things
stuff
that you are already doing.
There you go. Nura says,
deal with it.
Yeah, Nura says, I'm in catch-up mode. This is better bang for the buck for not playing for 10 months, and it is. All right. Scud says, total. Oh, God, this makes me sick. Okay. Ooh. Tarpy, we've got 22 million Syndicate XP between levels. I'm going to simplify this for all of you. Okay? Here you go. For Syndicate 55 plus, $20 buys us 1.5 million Syndicate. We've got 22 million Syndicate between levels.
Mm-hmm.
Scud at 54 and down, where there is 2 million between levels, and that's your highest. Okay. Scud Missile says 1999 is giving them 1.1 million. That actually is almost disgusting. That is almost disgusting. But it's acceleration. It's catch up. Okay, so it says 3.5 million from 53 to 54. Okay, still. You're getting half a level for $20. We're getting 5% of a level for $20.
Yeah.
Restrucci says, Scopely says, hook, line, and sinker. Maybe. Listen, I'm always going to praise good value, or at least I'm going to be objective about the math. Let me put that out there. I'm going to be objective about the math. All right? And as I mentioned 20 minutes ago, and I don't know if you were in chat at that time, Restrucci, I'm fine with Scopely selling anything they want to sell. Listen, they can stock the shelves as deep as they want to run. That just gives us options. That gives us a chance to decide what we're going to buy, if we're going to buy. Right? Let me ask you, if you go to Amazon.com, do you have to buy what shows up on their homepage? Do you have to buy what shows up in their Amazon deals? No.
You don't?
Strider's like, yeah, Tarpy, you don't. Just FYI.
It's his Prime account, so he knows.
Where's the free to play pass on the Amazon, right? The Amazon game. Where's my little taste for free?
Well,
that's what I want.
Fair. Okay. Nura says it's a goal of mine. I must buy from Amazon daily. All right. Restrucci says, hey, listen, DJ, don't get it twisted. I'm good with this. No issues. Give me a Sears catalog of battle passes. We are on the same page. It's free. But I did want to explain the math just in case, because I saw some people, man. I saw some people a little fussy about it. And I maintain what I've always said. Whether you like this channel or not, whether you like me as a creator or not, I'm going to stick by my guns on this. Free stuff for doing nothing is never, ever bad. Load me down with battle passes. If it's got a free track, I will always take the free. And sometimes I'm going to pay for the paid if I find value in it. All right.
Oh, my God. So can I, just because this is the pod, I do want to put a little bit of a historical part
to
this. The first time they did the Ferengi Pass,
we
were
the same.
Pretty grumpy about it.
Same thing. Absolutely.
Right. Well, no, there were other reasons we were grumpy about it that first time they did it. So I do also want to say they have listened to feedback and they have changed things. The first time they did the Ferengi Pass, it was an hour off, and it was a different grind event than what you were doing during the normal dailies. So it did not have synergy with the regular battle pass or whatever other pass we had at the time. So you had to remember a third reset time in the morning if you're in a US time zone, and you had to go do another event. So they moved it eventually to be on the same time as the regular reset. So that was good. And then they eventually also made it the same And it's a 5-day rotation of Battle Pass events now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it 5 or is it slightly different than 5?
6? No, 5. It might be 5.
I think it's they got rid of the Borg probes grind. They got rid of the Cardmata's Day. So
yes.
I also want to say they have actually made reasonably positive changes
In the Battle Pass rotation, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I see one thing in chat, and Vul is getting ready to absolutely explode if we don't point this out, and I'm going to. If you are op 70, actually, I think it's even 69. If you are op 70,
70.
Vul also wants to point out that if you are still chasing a vengeance, this is pretty significant in the vengeance BP acquisition because of all the syndicate scores. And I'm trying to find where that is. It's not in Vengeance's Mine. It's in a different event, isn't it? Where you score Vengeance BPs for Syndicate. I'm trying to remember where that is. It's 1 point per XP.
You could just go read the Vengeance's Mine one and stop making people seasick.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot, but it is going to get you another 1.5 million points towards maybe potentially getting some Vengeance BPs. All right. It is a small component. However, it does score. Vengeance's Mine is still up for 4 days and 14 hours. So if you are going to hit this Battle Pass, then there is some benefit to looking at the Syndicate Advancement event to get you some extra Syndicate points. All right, Vul says, okay, I can relax now. Goodness. All right, goodness.
Good. I'm glad your blood pressure is going down.
Yep. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, okay? So, there you go. Now, there is the perspective in chat that cash grab after cash grab after cash grab. Listen, what's the definition of a cash grab? Let me ask you. Chat, let me ask. What is the definition of a cash grab? Is it simply putting something available for sale?
The Vengeance?
No, anything. Warlock says if you force me to pay for something. Outlaw says a cash grab is putting something for sale. Really? Are you being sarcastic? Tell me you're being sarcastic. because I don't know. You know, okay. Wham and his dictionary.
Dictionary.com.
All right, here we go. A cash grab, chat, is a derogatory term for an action or product created solely to make money quickly with little regard for quality, ethics, or genuine value. This can refer to a hastily made sequel to a successful movie, a low-quality product rushed to market, or legislation, perhaps, perceived as a revenue-generating scheme rather than a public service. Okay, I love that definition. I will accept it, Wham.
I would also like to add creating a problem and then selling the solution.
I could get behind that. I could get behind that.
Scopely does that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that Scopely doesn't ever do cash grabs. What I'm going to tell you is that battle passes are not a cash grab. Duder says it does feel like Scopes is trying to squeeze money out of players. Yeah, that's their job. Their job is to sell you product. Okay? So, yeah, Scopely does a ton of cash grabs. But free tracks of battle passes aren't one of them, bro.
And no one said you had to buy the $20 one. Like,
that's true.
At all. Or spend $100 for the $20 for what you can get for $20. Like, no one said you had to.
All right. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. We're going to rein this in a little bit. There's a lot happening in chat. The definition that Wham off. I'm sorry. Let me come back.
Sorry.
Wham. I'm coming back to Wham's definition. All right. A product to make money quickly. I can agree that another battle pass might be trying to generate some quick cash with little regard for quality. See, that's where a battle pass separates itself. It's a free track. You can pay for extra. You can pay for acceleration, but they're still giving you stuff. All right. That's where we separate on that. Ethics? No, listen. We have asked for cheaper packs, and this content creator has asked for, quote unquote, the Sears catalog of battle passes. Give me more free while selling me more, I'm fine with it. Okay? And as far as value goes, well, hell, you're 390,000 Syndicate XP for 0 spend and 0 engagement. Tell me about the value on that. I feel like the value might be there. Okay? Now, does Scopely, do they actually demonstrate cash grabs? Absolutely they do. Battle passes just aren't one. Not when they're... Now, if they offered a battle pass, and I've said this before, you offer a battle pass with no free track, well, now that's a totally different story. But a free track with synergy on the other events that you're doing in the same day, it's totally different. That is a quality product for players. Let me ask, if this battle pass did not come about, would you still be mining today? If Syndicate Battle Pass did not come about, would you be mining today? The answer is yes, because you also have your other Battle Pass, which gives the choice tokens. You also have the Ferengi Battle Pass. And the Ferengi Battle Pass, which is also giving you officer shards and ship blueprints, okay? So, yeah, you're spending your time, rather. You're spending your time to mine. So do you have anything extra here? Yeah, you got Pinnacle, too. Golly. You got the Pinnacle daily event for Beyond the Curve or Ahead of the Curve or whatever that is, all right? So you got 3 events doing the same thing that are all paying you rewards. You guys used to make fun of me for saying the word synergy too much. But right here is a very, very nice example of synergy. All right. Yeah, you're
So at the same time,
you're doing dailies too. Go ahead, Tarpy.
right? So C Engineering has been trying to bring this up for a while too. That for players who either can't play a lot during the day to time their syndicate pulls, to do 3 days worth of syndicate pulls in under 48 hours, or players who are fairly new and didn't have access to all of the ones that we do at Ops 40 Plus, this event gets you a lot of Syndicate XP and rewards if you would have had a hard time getting to the first, second, or third milestone of those other events. And as you're saying, for doing nothing extra.
Yeah. Good point, though, Nichols. What is the actual trade-in value on an STFC account? Well, that is
what someone will pay for it.
Totally different conversation right there. All right. So funny. So funny. Anyway, all right. So Syndicate Battle Pass, always a good thing. I understand that people and I understand that people don't want to spend on it. And guess what? You don't have to. You're still gonna get some good stuff out of it for nothing. For nothing extra. You're gonna get good stuff out of it for just playing the game like you would have been anyway. All right. There you go.
And
free
tournament tasks.
And free tournament tasks, which ironically brings up our very next topic, which we're going to talk about right here on the other side of the break. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We are going to press the button over here on Twitch. We're going to press the button on the pod, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at new tournament tasks, how the rerolls are working, the mechanical structure of the new G7 tasks, and why G6s are having a little bit of a more challenging time with their rerolls. We're going to talk about that and more coming up on the other side of the break. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. We'll return right after these words. Don't go anywhere.
'Cause you're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been dreaming of. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You got the look, you got the style. I'd like to be you for a while. People watching every move you make. You fake a smile with every picture they take. 'Cause you're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been dreaming of. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You got the girls, you got the boys, you got the cars, you got the toys. Because I see wherever you go, telling everybody you know you're a superstar. You're a superstar, you're a superstar. That's what you are, 'cause you're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been dreaming of. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You got the look, you got the style. I'd like to be you for a while. You cause a scene wherever you go, telling everybody you know, 'cause you're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been dreaming of. You're a superstar. You got the face that they've been looking for.
The drippy biddle. Get ready to drip. Get ready to biddle.
We haven't actually put it in podcast yet.
When I say drip, you say biddle.
It hasn't been in podcast yet. Podcast audience don't even know what's happening.
Slide to the left, let your swag ignite. Slide to the right, shine like city light. Hands in the air for the bass riddle. Step with the drip, there's a drippy biddle. Slide back and sway for ride the rhythm. True move to the beat, you know what to do. Show the roll, chest pop, now let loose a little. We gon' drip it out with the drippy biddle. Everybody in the place, get ready to shift. Lose yourself in the groove, lift after lift. When the beat drop heavy, let your body fiddle. Come on now, show me that drippy biddle. Drippy biddle. Do the drippy biddle. Drip, drip, wiggle in the middle. Turn around, strike a pose. Drip it out until you glow. Do the drippy biddle. Come together, get a little silly. Clap 3 times, drip, drip, slide. Now we ride the drippy biddle. Drippy biddle. Drippy biddle. Step forward, bounce, puppy style. Rock it slow, then bring it wild. Dip it low, then lift up high. Drip that flow, get up to the sky. Wave that hand, wave that wrist. Feel that beat, don't you resist. Twist your frame, sway your middle. Let's go full power on the drippy biddle. Right foot drip, left foot biddle. Spin around once. Biddle. Wave both arms, drip it wide.
Good evening,
Slide
everybody.
side to
Welcome
side,
back.
drip, slide. Freeze, hold.
Right? I thought it was nice.
Drip, 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 echo through the room. We coming back, get ready to consume the drip. Make
This is the best one yet.
Boom, boom, boom.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Track, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast.
Drip, middle, drip, drip, wiggle in the middle.
And the home of the drippy biddle.
Do the drippy biddle. Come together, get a little silly. Clap 3 times, drip, drip, slide. Now we ride the drippy biddle. Drippy biddle. Drippy biddle.
Look at this. Chat is asking for the song title, Tarpy. Chat wants to know what the name of the song is. It's called The Drippy Biddle.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
how we do.
Drip it, slide it,
Hey,
ride it.
before we get going again,
Drippy biddle.
I think somebody
Oh, man, that was
did
fantastic.
a possum joke redeem.
Oh, you want a possum joke? Okay, let me see if I can find that for you real quick. Good evening,
Yeah.
everybody. Welcome back to the show. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Good stuff. Well, welcome in. Look, see, Wham says best one yet. Dragon Keeper says, I can get behind that version. Matt says, I can see that on the top of the charts one day. All right. I like it. Brett says, what's the name of that song so I can block it from my Spotify? The fact that you think it's on Spotify is even better. All right. I appreciate it. Lostin says, this needs to be played on Studio B. All right. I love it. All right. What is a biddle? Nobody knows. Like, what is 6-7?
You want to know?
No, we were having this conversation the other day. What is 6-7? Vagrant says, what is a biddle? I did nothing. I made it up. I completely made it up. What it's nothing. There's nothing. What is 6-7? We were talking about this the other day. All right, chat, podcast audience, I got to know.
To be determined.
I got to know.
It's going to be a dance move. That's what it is.
Yeah, this is going to be the next viral TikTok trend. All right, I'm working on it. I'm going to make it. Okay, I'm going to make it happen. All right, does it get muted in VOD? Nope. What? No. What is 6-7? Does anybody know? Nobody knows. What's a drippy biddle? Nobody knows. All right, nobody knows. What does a cat love to eat on a hot day?
What does a cat love to eat on a hot day? A ice cream cone.
That was terrible.
That was fantastic. All right, there you go. There's a awesome joke. Welcome back in, everybody. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Appreciate you guys all being here. Hey, I saw something interesting on Facebook I wanted to share with you guys very quickly. May I? This was shout out to the Star Trek Fleet Command Global Fan Group. All right, I saw a very cool survey, and I would like to share it with you. As a matter of fact, now I'm gonna be careful in how I share this screenshot because there are names on it. So I'm just gonna show the top 4 answers, if I may, and but I'll read you the rest of it. But there are names. Okay, so this was a post made on the Star Trek Fleet Command official global fan group page yesterday. They say, and I quote, "Game jumped the shark during the Galaxy Quest arc. Death Nail was new Wrath of Khan." The Death Nail was the Wrath of Khan arc. So the question was a poll. When did you quit playing? So here were the options. When did you quit playing? 1 to 3 months ago, 3 to 6 months ago, 6 to 12 months ago. Assessing day to day. I lost track, but over a year. I have come back after a break. I like giving money to other people. No more money for Scopely. It's getting a bit much and with lag on top. Okay? So those were the 10 survey answers. All right? The it's getting to be a bit much scored 0% of the vote. I like giving money to other people, scored 0% of the vote. I came back after a break, scored 0% of the vote. As a matter of fact, no more money for Scopely did, in fact, make it. They scored 2% of the vote. I lost track, but over a year, also scored 2% of the vote. 6 to 12 months ago, 6%. 3 to 6 months ago, 9%. 1 to 3 months ago, 9%. 52% of players, I am a glutton for punishment and will never leave.
Is nobody questioning why 48% of people on a STFC fan website quit the game and they're still there?
They're still there. All right, listen, congratulations to the gluttons out there. 52%, I'm a glutton for punishment and will never quit. I have to feel like that is such an interesting, Scopely should actually probably feel good in looking at that survey. Like they know they got their hooks right in you. Vagrant says this is why the game won't improve. I don't know. You know what matters is right. 48% of people have left. That's probably why Scopely should be paying attention. All right, but on the other hand, 52% say, we're diehard, baby. We ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. All right, Vic says 6-7 is the multiplicative of 42, which is the answer to life, the universe, and everything in it. You know what? That's a good draw right there. I wasn't entirely sure. I don't know. There's still so many theories out there. Nobody really knows. Even Wham, the encyclopedia, has come back into chat with no less than 3 actual definitions, alleged definitions of what 6-7 means, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. All right. Savage Darkness says those are the percentages of answers, not the player base. Oh, for sure, for sure. Let me rephrase. That's what Matters just said. That was 48% of respondents on a Facebook fan page. I still think it's funny just how they filled out the answers. All right. Yeah, I thought it was good. Shattered Fox says, even I took a break, but I'm back because I am a glutton for punishment. You got it. Yeah, let's go. Whew. Okay. All right, let's talk about Alliance tournaments. Oh, before we do, can I just say this also? For the first time, Tarpy, I got to have a serious moment with you. For the first time since the launch of G7, UltimatDJz was able to kill 50 71 level hostiles and earn his big daily and therefore earn Veil Shards for the first time. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Honestly, you were going to complete it and then forget to turn it in.
Do what? What?
I thought you were going to complete it and then forget to turn it in.
Well, no, I'm going to turn it in now, but I wanted to show that I was actually able to do it. And by the way, I'm going to throw this out that you guys got me there last night. How many holes did it cost me? We got it down to 17. 17. Now, okay, I'm squishy. Alpaca. Okay, I'm squishy. But 17 is better than the 50 that it would have been before yesterday. Cyber Demon says, what the actual hell? Yeah, dude. Welcome to G7. And by the way, I'm not fussy about it. Okay, I'm not fussy about it. But 17 holes it took me to do my daily. Now, JB says takes me 1 hole for that. You know what? Get out. Go. Just go. What tier is your vengeance, JB? And I bet your Seska's maxed. Mine's not maxed yet. Cyber Demon says we need to have a talk, sir. No, listen, I'm behind. Okay, you have a max cube. I don't. You have a max Seska. I don't. You have a max PQ. I don't. You squishy? I am. Okay? I can't. Listen, the fact that I was even able to do it, I'm very, very happy about. So I'm going to go ahead and claim it. I'm going to go ahead and claim it right now. Cyber Demon says I'm squishy too. Bull crap. What tier is my epic? Tier 12. It's tier 12. But here's, you know what? Perfect example right here. Perfect proof positive matters that ship isn't everything. If I had the see, this is what I'm talking about. This bullying right here. This is what I'm talking about. Cyber Demon, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to stand for it. Cyber Demon says mine's only tier 10. But that's my point.
Hey, I'm close to being able to do dailies.
That is my point.
Mine is 1 tier away.
My point is that the ship matters less than you guys think. It's crew. It's crew and research.
Are you saying size doesn't matter?
Obviously, I'm saying that. Okay.
Okay.
Makes me sleep better at night. All right. It makes me sleep better at night. All right. That's right. Underdeck slots matter. Okay. Wolf says, listen, lizard. If DJs can do it, then anybody can do it. And you know what? I think that's wonderful. Thank you. I think that's a fantastic lesson for us to learn here. If DJs can do it, if somebody as squishy as me can do it, then all of you can do it too. All right. Alpaca says, do you get enough Sigma Trite from events to repair 17 hulls? Yes, we did the math. It only cost me 63,000 Sigma Trite. 63,000 Sigma Trite. That's what it cost me. All right. So I hope I earn 63,000 Sigma Trite in a day. I do, right? I do earn that much, don't I? I don't know. Do I? 63,000. That's what it took.
You do, yeah.
I'm sure I do. All right. Lost In says yes. Wham says you're earning about 700,000 a day. Really? 700,000? Damn. Okay. I'm in. I'm in it. Okay. But yeah, it cost me 63,000 Sigma trait. So I just wanted to celebrate that milestone with you. I wanted to celebrate that milestone with you guys that I indeed have completed my daily for the first time since being in G7. Cyberdemon says, how much time roughly? I think we figured it out. I broke it up. I had to take 20 runs. I got my warp time down to 2 minutes, and I'm killing 3 hostiles and dying. So let's say that a round trip cost me 3 minutes, 17 holes. That's less than an hour, right? No. Yeah, that's like 56 minutes. What? 17 times 3. 61 minutes. That's not right. 51 minutes. That's what it would have been end to end, back to back, but I didn't do it that way. I sent it out when I had a chance, because I was busy at work. So I sent it out like if I, was getting ready to take a phone call or get on a conference call or had to go ignore a customer or, something like that. Okay. What? So how many buffs? I didn't use any buffs, Dragon Keeper. That was my thing. If I was going to have to take so many trips, I didn't want to rely on buffs. It's going to get too expensive. It's going to be too expensive. I can't do it, so I didn't want to do it. Panda, what's going on? Welcome in chat. I heard about this. Oh my God, I heard about this. All right, before we get to Alliance tournaments, I've got to shout out my Veil yet again because we have the best Veil. We really do. We have the best Veil. Our Veil is so great. I love our Veil. Panda Pirate, Uber Whale, and VIP representative, how you doing, buddy? Says that the EU servers, get this, Tarpy, the EU servers are organizing their big alliances onto a central Veil Discord to create a Veil ROE. Yep, that's happening. That's happening. The EU is actually organizing a galactic council to enforce a Veil ROE. That's what's happening out there. So Panda says, just asking DJ, will you and Griffin be taking the lead on creating a Veil ROE for U.S. servers? I will be happy to take that up. I'll be happy to take that up. Here is
might not look the same.
Here is the
more Wild West.
Yeah, but here is the official U.S. Veil ROE. You ready? You ready for it? I'm going to give it to you, Panda. There ain't no rules. This is the wild, wild Veil. Welcome to Server 15's Veil, where you will die. It is going to happen, and you're going to like it. Lost In says, that sounds like a job for PAC. You know what? I'll take it up with him. I'll take it up with him. I'm good with that. All right. Yeah, can you believe that? And I'm not making fun. You guys, like I said, you guys can do whatever you want to do. I will always support a player's right to play how they want to play, which is why I don't give grief. You know, Tarpy, I actually caught a little bit of grief. I actually had 3 or 4 DMs. They were all they were all polite. Nobody was super angry or anything, not at me. But I actually had a couple of people who were disappointed in me for giving exposure to our Veil pirates. They said, you shouldn't be giving them attention. I said, and I said, well, I think it's an interesting development. I think it's an interesting form of gameplay that they're taking up. They are making themselves the bad guys of our Veil, but who says they can't? Well, maybe the EU is trying to get in front of that. Maybe the EU servers are trying to get in front of that. I don't know. But I said, listen, it's for me, I'll let anybody, like I have any say over it. I will defend anybody's right to be able to play the game however they want. Even when we used to go into war, years ago, Tarpy, this is way before your time. We used to talk about people, like what were appropriate rules in war, like how far could you go in war? Me personally, I know this is dipping back way into a conversation we don't have to. I'm sorry, what matters? Are you pooping? Matters is pooping.
No. No. Rules in war? That is gross.
Well, okay. No, let me rephrase.
Okay.
What? Let me rephrase. I
have a whole thing.
my personal opinion is that I would never want to drive somebody from the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to punish them. I want to torment them a little bit. I want to make their gameplay a little bit of a challenge. That's fine. Me personally, I would always want to kind of cut that off before somebody felt like they had to quit. I would never want to drive somebody from the game. That's me personally. All right. But
yeah,
there's no, you know, other people can play how they want to do that. You know, IJ says the only rule DJ has is don't disrupt his stream. You know what? IJ, that's fair. That is the only thing I have ever asked of our audience or of anybody we've been at war with. That was the only thing I ever asked, was to let this community ground be sacred ground, right? Like to put, and that's even in our Discord, put server politics aside and to come in and celebrate community and celebrate chat and learning and teaching and education. And you know what? Honestly, 99% of the players that I've ever run across have honored that. And I'm very grateful for that. I really am. I feel like I'm the luckiest creator in the world because people treat this channel with respect and you know, listen, Wham is a buddy. He's in here every show. By golly, he kills my miners 4 and 5 times a day every day. It just happens. Okay? It's just how he plays. It's how I play. It's fine. I don't have any fussy words about that. That's just how we play. But during this show, that's respected, and I appreciate that. Wardod was the only one allowed to do what he wanted, and you know what? Wardod, he knew his limits too. He would do it at fun comedic moments, but when we were doing science, when we were teaching, when we were learning, that was a respected time, and I appreciate that. So I guess, therefore, matters, you could say that even we support a style of row, which is anything goes. But, you know, when we are celebrating together as a family, when we're coming together as a community to play the game and learn and educate, we ask that doesn't happen. And for the most part, people play by that. So maybe that is a form of row, right? Chat, that is a form of agreement amongst gentlemen and ladies that happens. I don't know. So if players want to organize that, if the EU servers think that they can do that, if they think they can do that, power to them. Try it. Let me tell you something. And anybody on server 15 will remember this. 7 years ago, Karkin, 7 years ago, war broke out on our server for the better part of a year because a couple of alliances wanted to start a galactic senate. All right. By the way, I was a part of that. I was a part of that shit show. All right. I was neck deep in all that stuff. And it was a nightmare. It caused war on our server for a long time. And I think that changed. I think that changed the dynamics of our server forever. So, and I think server 15 is relatively healthy. And now we come in to the Veil. And I'm going to ask, and I'm only comparing to my server because it's the only server I've ever played on. I feel like server 15 players are more suited to playing in the Veil than some other servers who have had strict ROEs on their server, because now they're being challenged by new players. Now they're being challenged by new types of gameplay that they can't control. And I think that is very frustrating and maybe even scary for some people. You know, I think that is why people are coming back to try to do this. It's a very interesting dynamic for me to observe. As Panda points out, you know, we've got an entire region now trying to organize a regional Veil row, and I cannot, me personally, I cannot see that having success. I'm curious as to how that could actually happen. You know, I mean, Tarpy, you had mentioned the other night like a bounty system, or maybe it was Karkin had mentioned like a bounty
that was
system.
somebody else.
I mean, I gotta think that that's dangerous. I gotta think that that's dangerous territory there. You know,
like,
but I don't know.
I think it was somebody from your server. Kaviji, was it you? The whole idea of attacking my own server for the benefit of another server just rubs Kaviji the wrong way. Like, be a nice person. create diplomacy, but don't ask them to hit. Don't ask me to hit my own server mates because they hit UOPC in the Veil or hit you because they wanted to in the Veil. Like I'm just curious, like, for the people who are pirates on our Veil, like, they're gonna do that. Like, I have no way to stop them. Like,
Dragon, sorry, I'm not laughing at you.
I can't.
Dragon Keeper says hitting DJ in the Veil is fun, not dangerous. You're damn straight about that. There's nothing I can do. And that's the thing that I've been talking, even in our Veil chat, is, you know, what can somebody do? If there was anything missing, all right, and I will say this for the people who are not enjoying the Veil. The one thing that I do think is missing, and I hope that Scopely finds a way to combat this, or to provide an opportunity. Let me rephrase. I hope that Scopely provides an extra mechanic in the future in the Veil to allow players the opportunity to fight back. You know, right now, if I was mining, and I'm gonna use Marine as an example because we've got a good relationship. We've been chatting since we played in the Veil together, and he kills my miners a couple times a day as well. I'm going to use him as an example just because I know that we've talked about this. If he comes and kills my ship, the natural response to that would be to want to retaliate, right? To fight back. What would you guys do on your own server? You would find somebody, you would Voyager them, you would find their base, you'd tap their base, you'd bookmark them, you'd be hunting them, you'd be looking for their miners to get retaliation. Right now inside the Veil, that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't that mechanic does not exist right now. I do hope that something like that can happen at some point, because at least then players have the opportunity to attempt to fight back. But I'm telling you, I don't think the majority of pirates in the Veil would not want an opportunity for somebody to fight them back. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I think. I mean, the reason they're doing it is to create controversy, to stir up trouble. All right? They want to fight somebody. That's what they're doing, you know? So I do think that should be a mechanic that exists. I don't know. We don't have to talk a whole lot about it tonight, Matters. Do you think that there should be a revenge mechanic inside the Veil?
Yeah, absolutely. There should always be a revenge mechanic for everything all the time.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. Tarpy, you got a different perspective?
I mean, yes and no. I mean,
I know you have feelings on this.
There's no way that I could ever kill one of Losted's ships unless it was something he left out that I could, like, somehow pick away at 75 times and it eventually dies. But on the other hand, every server has a player or a few players who may not have the best mental health and the best support network, that genuinely need to just get muted. And those players, once they hit the Veil, they're going to be doing the same thing to everybody. And I'm not saying that that's what those particular people that we're talking about, the PLPO people, I'm not saying that's them. But and I'm actually not saying that it's them. But what I'm saying is there are people that have genuine problems that I would like to be able to say this person needs to just get hit whenever they hit people because they are genuinely spouting some really nasty crap in our own GC.
DOS. And I know what you're talking about. Every server has that one player, and that's what Tarpy's saying. Every server, every server has that one. So yeah, I
or
think
two,
or 10.
So like, yeah, like, so I would love a revenge mechanic in a way for being able to actually deal with those players, because on occasion some of them are whales. But on the other hand, like,
I'm
No,
not laughing. I'm
'cause-
sorry. I'm not laughing at you,
And I
podcast
know you're
audience.
not laughing at
The,
me.
the
it's
chat
fine.
is lighting me up right now. IJ says, DJ stole my Borg probes years ago. I had no support network. All right, I hold a grudge. That's true. That's true. It's a thing. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. Panda, thanks for stopping in. I do appreciate that. And it is a very interesting turn of events that there are alliances and groups out there trying to regulate the Veil. And I think that the Veil is...
I want to know how they're going to enforce it.
I think the Veil is unregulatable. And I think that was the design, right? Somebody asked in chat, do you think Veil is a precursor to a galactic server merge? I kind of hope so. I mean, I have always touted the idea that the individual game servers are one of the things that's wrong with this game. Like, I love an open sandbox. That was one of the concepts that I loved about EVE Online. Now, the game ended up not being great for me, but I did kind of like that opportunity where we could fly into space and we could find anybody, right? We could play with anybody. What I'm loving about the Veil is the opportunity. What I love most about the Veil is exactly what I would look forward to with a server merge. What I know JB has been begging for with a server merge for 5 years is the opportunity to play with new people, you know? And that's what I'm enjoying the most, is meeting new people and playing with new people and interacting with new people. That's what I have enjoyed about it. But you're right, Marmalade. Sandbox in this game wouldn't work. I mean, the lag, the engineering, Scopely has absolutely demonstrated they're not able to do that. But the Veil is a step in that direction. They can't now. Maybe one day they could. But I think that it's very, very cool right now. Cruzito says we want the Veil to rotate. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with my Veil right now. I'm pretty happy with my Veil. I don't know if I want my Veil to rotate. We're gonna end up getting stuck with a less cool Veil. We've got a very cool Veil.
Like Griffin's Veil. That would be pretty bad.
Shout out my Veil. We need to name these Veils, by the way. We're going to need to name them.
The cool Veil.
The cool Veil. We're going to have to name them. We're going to have to call them, even Veil 1, Veil 2, Veil 3. And then the EU only has one, if I'm not mistaken, right? Does EU only have one Veil, or are there two? I know APAC only has one. US has 3. I think EU only has 1. Killfirst says the EU has 2. So there are 6 total then? Cyberdemon says the U.S. has 4. Are we confident in that? I thought there was only 3. Killfirst would be able to tell us. Shout out Killfirst. How many Veils are there, actually? I thought that the U.S. only had 3, and the EU had 1, and APAC had 1. But Killfirst would be able to tell us.
Veil with a 73 and the other one.
Veil with a 73 and then that other Veil. But no, interesting gameplay.
Another Veil over there.
Interesting. How about Veil incursions? Oh. Veil incursions. Now you got my interest. Oh, I'm in.
Well, you'd have to have bases and a miner for Sigma, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but we could cross over or something. Oh man, yeah, no, that's crazy. Killfirst
You'd have
says,
to have bases in there somehow.
Yeah. Killfirst says STFC.pro has Veil breakdown. So let's see if we can find that real quick before we get in. We got to get into Alliance tournaments. We're running out of time. But okay, Killfirst, how do I find it? If I was going to instruct a player to go to STFC.pro and they wanted to find information about their Veil, where do we find it? Killfirst says look for groups. What do you mean look for groups? Tell me what I'm looking for. Veil could be the conduit for a new style of incursion. That would be really, really cool. Ohai says housing in the Veil with no ability to shield like an incursion above 20. It would be a thing. Go ahead, Putz.
Yeah, that would mean that the Veil's going to work during incursions. Mirror Universe doesn't work during incursions and all other...
Yes, it does.
Man.
You just can't go on the other servers.
Okay. But
you can go on your own.
I hear what he's saying, though, that it would require more base code to be able to interact. Because, like, for example, you can't claim a territory. You can't, join an alliance on another server or something like that. So, yeah.
I'm just skeptical. That's all. I'm just skeptical that it would work.
Hey, no, right now it wouldn't. Right now it wouldn't. Okay, you're 1,000% right. Right now the tech isn't there. I think that Veil is a step in that direction, though. I think it is. According to Kill First, there are indeed 3 U.S. Veils, 2 European Veils, and 1 APAC Veil. Kill First, I want to get with you to name these. Right now we've got them named US 1, US 2, US 3. And then EU 4, EU 5, and APAC 6. I feel like we've got to name these. Can we take that upon ourselves, Talking Trek community, to name the 6 Veils? I feel like we've got to name them.
The cool Veil.
Let's first see. Oh no, US 1 does not contain server 15. So that obviously is an error. We should obviously be number 1. Veil number 2 does not contain 15. So US Veil number 3 is the one that I am in, but obviously it should be ranked number 1.
That is the cool Veil.
Yeah, we'll call that one the cool Veil. All right. And then maybe US 1. Which one is Griffin in? What server does Griffin play on? Server 8? Is that right? I don't remember. Which one is Griffin?
You don't know this?
No, I don't know. What server does Griffin play on? I don't know. All right. Yeah, 3rd Veil for the 3rd ranked CC. Hey, I'll take the promotion. Thank you. Thanks.
41.
US 3 is the Cool Kids Veil. All right. Griffin's in server 41, which does put him in Veil number 1, which automatically means it can't be the number 1 coolest. I mean, if Griffin's in there. All right. Yeah.
We love you, Griffin.
Hey, Kill First, can we actually, maybe we could do Scopely's not going to name these. Maybe we could do some kind of like community survey since we're partnered with STFC.pro. Maybe we could convince them to actually let us name these veils. Griffin's Veil could be the Whale Veil. It could be the Whale Veil. Ours could be the Kitty Squishy Bitty Veil. All right, the Drippy Biddle Veil.
Cool Veil.
Yeah, I still like the cool Veil. That'd be good. But yeah, listen, we'll circle back around with Kill First after the show. We'll see if he'll let us name the Veils. I feel like that's got to happen. I feel like that's got to happen. I want to name the Veils. I don't want to be US Veil number 3. All right, it's got to be way cooler than that, because it is. By the way, we're the way coolest Veil. Okay, we can way do it. All right, Alliance tournaments, brand new iteration now that G7 has come out, and we did see a bug when it first launched. It looks like they have cleared that up at this point. What was happening, Tarpy, were some tasks were overriding some of the other tasks, and some of the availability of some of these. Retrieving says a bug. No, there was a. I mean, I think it was like a bug. It was just a broad bug, but it's fixed now, as we can hopefully attest to in the game. We are still seeing some issues with refresh on that 20th slot. As a matter of fact, for those in the live studio audience, you can see right now that in my tournament store, we do have a blank 20th slot. Scopely is still aware of that, and they are working on that. But most of the tasks are now being cycled through in their proper form. As a matter of fact, Tarpy, you had asked this the other day, and Scopely heard and has responded that they have now put the task list back in the order that it originally was in. So your 10,000 point tasks do remain on the bottom. All right, that was something that Tarpy asked the other day, and Scopely has put that sorting back into the place. That was another thing we saw yesterday was the 10,000 point tasks were kind of scattered. They've always been grouped right near the very end of your task list. And for those of you who are in the live studio audience, you just now saw that 20th slot refresh. There's still a little bit of a bug in the delay, I think, with that refresh of that 20th slot, but it is working significantly better than it was. Spock says 10,000 should be at the top. You know, I don't necessarily disagree with that. However, they at least put it back to what we're familiar with. all right, which is all the 10,000s are down at the bottom, unless you are able to refresh and pull up 2 of those grindable 10,000 point tasks, which do still show up near the end, but not necessarily in those 17, 18, 19, 20 slots. We were also able to confirm that there is still the possibility, the potential of up to 5 10,000 point tasks. All right. They said that they did not change that. What I do believe was happening, and Retrieving could probably give me some better insight. I know he was way on top of this the other day. I believe one of the things that were happening with the new G7 tasks, which we're going to talk about, by the way, the new G7 tasks were in a way kind of overriding the G6 task. Now, right before the break, I said that some G6 players were struggling with their rerolls. Those were the reports that I was getting. But during the commercial break, I saw the chat saying, no, listen, I'm fine. Everything is good. So maybe that was something on day 1 that they have now fixed with the day 2 Alliance Tournament tasks, is that now the rerolls are working better. The G6 tasks are still popping pretty well. Retrieving says on day 1, G7 tasks were not visible by non-G7 players, but they were still in the Alliance pool, which meant that was probably what was happening with all the blank slots, which therefore turned into the fact that if you had G7 tasks and you didn't have a G7 player in your Alliance, you were not able to refresh them. You couldn't see them, therefore they couldn't be selected, therefore they couldn't be re-rolled. That has been corrected, and now what we're seeing is G7 and G6 tasks that are populating the same spots. Now, the reason that this is not necessarily a bad thing is because at least now you do still have the opportunity of grabbing a G7, refreshing it, and pulling a G6 task. That is a possibility. As evidenced by my screen right now, I, a G7 player, have selected a G6 task. Okay, that is still possible. Now, yesterday, during our Twitch stream in the lab, we were doing some math. Now, one of the best ways, we all know this, all right? Scopely knows this, and I think they're trying to get away with it. I don't know that we will ever let them. One of the best ways to complete an Alliance Tournament task is with your choice tokens. Okay? Wham says you can pull a G7 and still roll a G7. Oh, yeah. Listen, don't get me wrong. They're not mutually exclusive. They've added G7 tasks into the same pool as the G6 tasks, okay? Meaning you could take a G6, re-roll it, and get a G7. That would be crappy, right? You could get a G7, re-roll it, get another G7. Also crappy. You could get a G7, re-roll it, and hit a G6. Jackpot. That's what you want, okay? Now, even for the G7 players, we did some math on this. I don't know if Scopely did this on purpose. They probably did. And I'm gonna counsel them on balancing this a little bit better. But that's exactly right, Wham. The question is, why would any player want to do a G7 task? Why would even a G7 player want to do a G7 task? Well, let's take a look and see if we can find one. All right. First of all, a G6 material task. And by the way, this is obviously for players who are Ops 61 plus. You have the infamous G6 material task. That requires you to pull 2,200 materials, uncommon materials of a specific material, crystal, gas, or ore. All right. How have we traditionally done that? We've traditionally done that with choice tokens. Okay. Now, we also, thanks to years of history in this game, know that crystal pays more than anything else. So you used to be able to come in here and do, 400 choice tokens in crystal, but it would be 600 choice tokens in gas or ore. All right, because crystal paid more. That's right, Alpaca. You could also use converter tokens. Hell, you can use your refinery. You can use the Revenant refinery. There's a million ways, there's multiple ways to earn materials. Refinery counts, converter tokens count, event rewards count, choice tokens count. Other refineries like the Revenant If you're, Revenant would count. I'm trying to think what else pays G6.
Monthly.
Monthly loyalty.
Tokens?
Yeah, monthly resource tokens, the loyalty tokens. Yep. All right. Any way that you acquire materials that would satisfy that task. 2,200.
Buy a pack.
Buy a pack. That would also do it. Okay. DTI store. That would do it. All right. Now, 2,200 materials, G6. That's what it would take. It used to be 400 crystal or 600 tokens for the gas and ore, just because they paid a little bit less. If you take a look inside your choice tokens. All right. That's how that happened. However, Tarpy, this month, there was a change. This month, there was a modification to the choice tokens. A lot of players have observed this already. Some players do not know that the choice token bundles received a massive inflation. More inflation than would typically be in as far as like a pack inflation. The choice tokens this month, Tarpy, received, what was it? 60%?
It's like 66%. Yeah.
66 or 67, basically a 2/3 bump in G6 material payouts. Retrieving says it makes up for months of no inflation. Maybe it does. Maybe they finally brought it back on par. Don't know. All right. But they received a significant bump to the material and resource income inside choice tokens. Now, let me ask, if you're a G6 player, what are you receiving inside your choice tokens? G6 materials, G5 materials, G4 materials, G3 materials. How many of those pay when you're looking for credit towards a G6 material task? These are simple questions. How you doing, Scion? I'm great. How are you?
Just the G6.
Just
uncommon?
G6. There you go. G6 uncommon. That's it. All right. Easy question. Easy answer. Inside the choice tokens, it did take 400 choice tokens to satisfy a crystal or 600 gas or ore to satisfy a G6 token or a G6 task, 2,200 materials. Let's take a look at what it would take now. Now, for G6, I am now receiving in one pull 1,204 G6. Big, big inflation. Wham says crystal was 170 to be exact, not 200. In fairness, I never do it that way. I always pull the big ones. All right, I always pull the big ones. And the biggest reason that you want to do that, by the way, is because of the resource tokens. If you guys remember, we did way back in the beginning, Tarpy. If you remember, way back in the beginning, there were token inequities in the smaller choice token bundles. This is why, even to this day, I will never recommend you spend less than 100 tokens. Unless it is your very last token for the month and you just are going to spend them out. Tamrell says it takes 350 now. That is correct, but you are losing resources to do it that way. You're losing resources to do it that way. All right. So I'm still going to recommend, even if it's a little bit of an overshot, you got to do the increments of 100 because you're actually receiving more resources to do it that way. Okay. Just as an FYI, in case you did not know that. The only time that you should use those 10 bundles is at the very end of your choice tokens just to get rid of all your scrap. And by the way, that is something that we've asked Scopely for years. They've finally figured it out here with choice tokens. We can spend them all and never have leftover, which is also a very, very good thing. Okay? You can always spend them out. Cyberdemon says, wait, why? Well, we did a whole show on this, but long story short is, if you take 100, if you take 10 of the chests of the smaller ones and count up all the resources and then compare it to a 100 pull in the larger pull, you actually get less. Okay? You actually get less. All right? Now, so you can do that math.
It used to be.
Yeah, it's better than it used to be, but you do still get less. So you definitely want to pull them in increments of 100. Cyberdemon says that's just lazy. Actually, it's not. What happened was when they broke it down, basically they had to make it a 10%, and they were using billion tokens. They were using tokens. All right. For example, can you issue 10% of 14 Sigma tokens? Can you issue 10%? You can't issue 10% of 14. So there was a rounding problem there. Okay. And what you would see in a 10 cost, you would get 1 token. So you were actually losing that 0.4 of Sigma. Okay. So that's why it's less. You just got to. Now, Cyberdemon says you got to put it in the trite next to the token. That would violate the math on raw versus token, which, by the way, there is a math formula on that, which I hate. I hate it. I think tokens should go away. Don't crucify me. I think tokens are terrible for the game. Don't yell at me. I think tokens should go away. I think they should all be rateable. Anyway, all right. But that would violate that math formula. And Demon, there is a formula for it. Okay. Everything in this game has a formula.
Wouldn't that be worse for you than anybody else?
It would be, and I'm still an advocate for it because it would be healthier for the game. Okay? I'm still an advocate. It would destroy me, but it's still healthier for the game that way. Anyway, so
why?
Now, not getting into that today, but
okay.
All right. But now more risk reward, right? High risk, high reward, more stakes in the game. I mean, being rated, people don't care. Look at me. I don't even care to be rated. Because I've got gazillions and gazillions in tokens. It means nothing to me. There's no risk in being rated anymore. All right? But if you couldn't have trillions and trillions and trillions in tokens, then the risk is actually a little bit better. There's something in it now. Like, there's a risk and reward. So, yeah, I think tokens are terrible. Anyway. So, after the inflation now, we come in to the crystal, which used to take 400. And now we can see that a G6 payout is 1,204. By the way, I just dropped down and I see an Op 68 gets 1,189. Even that's great too. That's great too. It's slightly less for some reason. It's 15 crystal less. That's weird. But nonetheless, 1,189. Tell me, what is 1,189 times 2? Does that still equal more than 2,200? Well, the answer is yes.
Yes.
It does. 1,189 times 2 is greater than 2,200, which now means that 200 tokens will satisfy that task. What this means are your choice tokens are going to last you longer in your alliance tournaments. The inflation,
by the way,
the inflation there has given you longer life with your choice tokens in alliance tournaments. Yes, Tarpy.
That is for the entirety of G6. So
yep.
I don't have data for 62, but I do have data for 61, where everybody in G6 gets 1,100 or more crystal in the bigger pull.
There you go.
So you can do that at 61 and go up.
There you go. All right. So now instead of 400 tokens, it's 200 tokens. We're literally doubling our mileage in choice tokens. Now, that's with Crystal. That's with Crystal, which always has paid more. And by the way, people always think it's an error, and it's not. Omicron says Scopely clearly loves interceptors. No, that's actually not it. It's because interceptors and miners take Crystal. All right, so they are paid. This has been a 5, 6, almost a 7-year conversation. Crystal has always paid more than gas or ore. Look at your tickets every single weekend. Look at an event. All right, you could look at an event anytime you ever have a choice event. It is always going to pay more in Crystal and Trite because of the game's mathematical requirements of Crystal and Trite. In hindsight, I do believe that Scopely probably wishes they had made a 4th currency for miners. They probably wish that they had done that. The fact that the 4th ship type also uses Crystal, they force themselves into making Crystal have to pay more. All right. Now, Tamrel says, hey, I'm in it. That's fine because when I take the Crystal, that means I'm also getting extra Trite. And that is true. You are getting mathematically more Trite because, again, Demon, there's formulas for everything. The formula of allocation between resources and materials is fixed. So the more crystal you get, the more trait you get. The more ore you get, the more steel you get. And they're all mathematically derived. Okay? So
I thought that the reason for it was because everything, all rewards in the game, including choice tokens and everything, were mathematically based off of packs that are purchase packs.
They are. But if you look at the packs,
it was a station pack. It was a station pack, a research pack, and then a ship pack. And the ship packs have more mats. And that's why the crystal pays more, because it was based off of ship packs instead of, and that's why only crystal events and stuff have epic, and
it's kind of
ones don't.
Kind of. But if you look at a ship pack, they also only pay 2 materials. That's why they pay more. It's not because they paid less or pay more. It's because crystal is universally attributed to ships. Gas is universally attributed to research, or is universally attributed to building. All right. It's because it's for ships. And the ship packs, you're right, do have a higher base amount, but it's because they only paid 2 materials as compared to 3. All right. So now, why do the ship packs have more? They don't, retrieving, but they only have 2 varieties instead of 3 varieties. Now, Wham says gas is also building. Sure. Ore is also ships. Yes. Crystal can also be buildings. Yes. But universally, coding, going back to the original economy design, that was kind of, they had to pick a metric, and that's what they went with. Gas research, ore building, crystal ship. All right? That was the original day one economy design. All right. Now, if we look at, let's change gears now. Let's look at the ore choice bundle. Or choice bundle, 6-star, 660. Remember, it used to take 6 of these pulls to get to the 2200 that you needed for the G6 task. Now there's 660. Tarpy, in a 61 choice bundle, how much G6 ore is there?
2 seconds. I went to a different window, so 2 seconds. Sorry.
652.
Computer not. Thank you. Sorry.
600. That's all right. 652, says Matt. All right. Take 652, multiply that by 2. Do we get to 2200? Nope.
No.
Multiply by 3. Do we get to 2200? Dang it.
No.
No. Multiply by 4. Do we get to 2200?
Yes.
The answer is yes. It used to take 6. Now it takes 4. A 50% reduction, or, depending on which side of the coin you look at it, a 67% increase in efficiency of the choice bundles. How much was the inflation, Tarpy?
66%.
Ah, math! Yay!
I was going to say that makes sense.
All right. There you go. So now it takes 400 tokens instead of the 600 tokens, still giving you more mileage in your choice tokens. Now, this is the circular question that was asked at the very beginning of the segment. We're going to answer it right now. Would you, as a G7 player, want to pull a G6 task? That's crazy. Tarpy, I don't need G6 materials anymore. Now I need G7 materials. Why would I do a G6 task and pull G6 materials?
Because you're getting G7 in the same bundle.
Ha ha! The exact
and you're
same
getting
bundle.
More G6.
The exact same bundle pulls both G6 and G7. So if I decided to pull a G7 task, which, by the way, is also still 2,200. I think it's 2,240 something. Could somebody tell me real quick what it is? 2,400. Yeah, I don't have one on my screen right now. Yeah, retrieving it is more. It's like 2,487, 2,447, 2,485. You guys are all getting weird ones. All right.
Hold on. I've got the spreadsheet. task guide, task list.
Let's call it roughly 2,500. 2485.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. 2485. Okay. Now, if I need 2,485 G7 materials, well, let's go back to those choice bundles. Let's go back to the choice bundles. All right. If I draw a G7 task and now I have to pull 2,485, if I go to my choice tokens and I look at, say, Crystal, I can pull 452 G7 Crystal. How many choice tokens do I have to spend to get to 2,485 if I'm pulling 452 per? 2,485 divided by 452. 600. 600. Wait a second. Tarpy, if I'm doing Crystal and a G7 task means I have to spend 600 choice tokens. But if I'm pulling the choice tokens and I'm getting G7 and G6, why would I ever?
You're getting the same amount overall. You're just being more efficient with your tasks.
Boom. You're getting the same amount of materials out of your choice tokens. That doesn't matter. You're getting more mileage out of your choice tokens when it comes to alliance tasks because you can spend fewer choice tokens to complete the task. So, G7 players, here's the correct answer. Unless Scopely fixes this or balances this, there is zero incentive towards claiming a G7 task. They missed the math on this. And by the way, I don't think they actually missed the math as much as they didn't examine the nuance of how we play tournaments. Okay? Battlebomb says, G7 players, just buy multiphasics. Yeah, there you go. You can do it that way, okay? Absolutely. Just do it with multiphasics. You got it. Yeah. All right. Now, let me be very, very clear. Let's look at OR. Let's go back and look at OR because this one's even worse, okay? 2,485. Let's go to our choice tokens. Let's go to OR for our choice tokens. And remember, the choice token is the same. I'm getting G6 and G7. Let's go over here to OR. I am receiving 248. Well, that's funny. Isn't the math 2,485 divided by 248? Did we say that right? 2,485 divided by 248. I would have to spend 1,000 choice tokens to do it on OR. 1,000 choice tokens. Now, that's fine. In that same 1,000 choice tokens, I'm still getting 2,485 OR. And I'm still going to come down here and get 6,600 G6 OR. Okay? I'm not losing materials. Let me be very clear about that. What you are losing is mileage. You're losing the efficiency and you're shortening yourself on how many tasks you can complete with choice tokens. Okay? Are we very, very understanding of that? In other words, if you are Ops 61 plus, 61 through 80, if you are going to use choice tokens, your best avenue is still G6 materials. Meaning if you get a G7, we're going to re-roll that. We're going to refresh that one. Okay? And you're going to go back and re-roll to get to the G6 ones. They are still more efficient. And in case anybody wants to say, well, maybe they pay more points. Sadly, they don't. They still pay exactly 10,000 points in Alliance tournament points. They pay exactly 4,400 credits, and they pay exactly 12,000 tournament refresh credits. They don't change the rewards. Now, that could be another thing. Maybe Scopely should look at that. Instead of changing the requirements for the choice tokens, maybe they come in and increase the rewards. Maybe now it's 15,000 tournament points, and it's 7,000 tournament credits, and 20,000 refresh tokens. Maybe then it will draw players in. But as of now, the G7 material tasks are completely KOS. Avoid those. Okay? Avoid them. Vic says, are any of the new ones free to playable? Well, yeah, technically, the materials one continues to be free to play. All right? The Planetary Charts one is not. All right, let's not mistake. Planetary Charts are different than Pioneer's Crests. There is a new tournament to acquire 8,800 and some Planetary Charts. I remind you that even with the Reliant, you can only earn 1,100 a day. So that one is not free to play. That one would require the purchase of a pack. Okay, 8,690. Thank you. I thought it was 88,000 something. So no, that one is still a pay. Tarpy, what are the other new tasks that have been introduced this time? I think there was only one or two more.
There's a couple building ones.
Okay.
It was like 6,600 recon locus schematics, which
is that a free-to-play one?
I mean, it could be. I mean, if you've been saving your building levels for a very, very long time, it's technically free to play, but I don't think anybody would do that with that building.
Yeah,
the buffs on it are too good.
Agreed.
That I don't think anyone would save it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to probably save that one. You'd probably want to, at least not that long.
Mimi says it's 2 packs worth. Because Mimi buys all the packs.
Mimi knows all about packs.
And pack.
But you know what's funny about that is that it's 2 packs instead of 1. I think they were always supposed to be 1, but that was a little off. A little bit off.
Yeah.
Chaos says we can see G7
so Ranger
tasks.
Chaos.
Yeah, that's what I was just reading. He said we can see G7 tasks and our server hasn't ascended. That's because these are universal. All right. Even alliances that don't have G7 players can still draw a G7 task. How do you handle that? Reroll it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
That happened at the beginning of alliance tournaments when G6 was still pretty inaccessible, and alliance tournaments were out for about 4 months before choice tokens existed.
Yeah.
And so even those G6 tasks, with the way the refinery was, there was no Revenant, there were a lot of the other places we get mats right now, those tasks were not doable at that time either. So a lot of us who were G5 or even G6 players still got rid of those mats tasks until choice rewards came out.
Now, I just pulled a G7 task, and I grabbed a screenshot, which I will put in the graphics room, which, again, it doesn't necessarily matter. I'll throw it in the graphics room, but you'll be able to see this yourself in game. You look at the rewards for the G7 task, they're exactly the same. Exactly the same. So
I think in the future, I need to do a little bit more math on. So what I just linked is the alliance management page that Jules does, where you can see the tasks. But I think in the future, when people get higher in G7, I think it will be cheaper to get G7 tasks through choice rewards and maybe other sources than the G6 ones are now. So again, you'll still be getting the same amount overall, but it at that point might be cheaper later in G7 than there are currently players.
Could be. And what would be required of that would be the scaling up of the number of G7 materials that come in. It's not necessarily even the BP, Cruzito. It's not the choice tokens. It's the actual bundle. If, for example, later on, if we look at a choice token bundle right now, if we say, let's look at the crystal one. If at any point G7 crystal at 452 would exceed the 1,204, then G7 tasks will become cheaper at that time. All right. But it will only happen if G7 material income exceeds G6 material income in the same bundle. All right. So that's the only time that will happen. And we're all early. We're all 71, 72s. Right. So if somebody gets
that already.
Yeah, if somebody gets to 77, 78, 79, and G7 crystal turns into 2,000, well, then yeah, it could happen that way. I don't know if it will. All right. But that will be the key. If G7 income exceeds that of G6, then the G7s will, at that point, become more efficient with your choice tokens. But we are nowhere near that at this stage. Okay? So, there you go. The rundown on the new modifiers to Alliance tournaments and the secret pitfall, if you will. All right? It is definitely a pitfall. Players are going to click G7 tasks because they're G7 players. It actually will cost you nearly double in your choice reward currency as if you still stick to the G6s. You are not losing any material. You're still gaining G6 and G7 inside the same bundle. So do not fall for the trap. If you see a G7 task, re-roll it. Okay? Any other questions? Oh, let's talk about the store. Let's talk about the store. I've got bad news. All of the new store additions were added to Master League only. Oh, man. Makes me sad. However, all right, all of the new ads were Master only. Okay? Womp, womp, says DOS. Oh, God, you continue to break my heart. You guys, since you're talking about it in chat, I feel like I feel like it's okay for me to acknowledge DOS was the one who DM'd me the other day. DOS was the one who DM'd me the other day, whose alliance is going to take 14 months to recover their Emerald Chain and 2 more months to recover Master League because their alliance was exploded over on server 20. So, unfortunate. That is sad to me, and it breaks my heart every time he brings it up. All right? But that is what happened. All of the new ads were Master League only. That being said, let's take a look at these new ads. Well, we talked about them the other day. We saw them make an announcement that they were adding a number of items, including officer badges. Let's talk about those. First of all, it is even better than I predicted. It is even better than I predicted. I predicted 5 badges. They are giving you the opportunity to take up to 20 badges. No RNG, your choice.
Of each type.
Of each type. Now, not that anybody would need to pull engineering badges. All right? But just in case you did, you could take 20 of those. Not that anybody necessarily needs 20 science badges. But in case you did, you can do that too. What everybody who needs badges, which is not all of us, but what everybody who needs badges should come in here and do is pull command badges. And you can take 20. Now, Carissa said it was 5 to start. They raised it later. I got to be honest with you. I predicted 5, Carissa. I predicted it would only be 5. You guys, listen, on the last show, we talked about this. We talked about this the other night, and you guys said you would be happy with 5. Well, they quadrupled down. 20. Cruzito said they launched it with 5 and fixed it quick. I figured it was only going to be 5, Cruzito. And a lot of people in our chat said, well, 5 would be better than nothing. That's right, Retrieving. Gift horse, man. 20 badges, no RNG, and they are not ridiculously priced. 1,300 currency. Well, we've paid more than that for directives. We've paid more than that for prime particles. Alpaca says, this is great. It lets me upgrade all of my pending officers. Really? Every single one? Well, that is fantastic. That's great. You know what else we got in here? For you weirdos like me? Cultivated mycelium. Yep, I'll be pulling that. Have to. That's right, Vic. If some is good, then more is better. Tin Man says most people should be pulling primes. Do agree. Even me, I'm still pulling prime Valor emblems. I still need those. All right.
Do you though?
Absolutely. What else we got in here? Premium mirror dust. Hell yeah. What the hell did I just do? I just accidentally bought an engineering badge. You can't make this up. You just can't. My finger slipped on the keyboard and I just accidentally bought an engineering badge. I've only got 700 of those. Definitely don't need any more of those. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. All right. Premium mirror dust. Here we go. 1,250 premium mirror dust. All right. Priced on the hefty side, but still available. Premium mirror dust, 1,250 of it. Guess what? Almost all of you. Well, anybody in Master League who's not done with the premium mirror tree, that is something that you should be buying. Premium mirror dust. And it is indeed, Tony Pie, 1,250. 250 times 5. Okay? You've got a limit of 5. So that's 1,250 premium mirror dust. All right. Master League has also added transwarp manifolds, which are your Borg jump juice. All right.
A lot of them.
A lot. 100,000 Borg cube jump juice. That's a lot, considering you only earn 6,000 a day with a cap of 24,000.
And it's 2,000 for a jump.
It's 2,000 for one jump. You only earn 6,000 a day, and it's got a cap of 24,000. You can now get 100,000 Borg jump juice. Okay? What else? Vindicator parts. As much as it disgusts me, I will probably buy those. Balabomb says Cube is on its last leg, though. Nah. The Cube is on its last leg for Ops 71 plus. Okay? The Cube is on its last leg for 71 plus, but that is only 2,000 players in this entire game. All right? The Borg Cube is still wildly popular and still game ruling for everybody 70 and down. Okay? Vindicator parts. Big deal. I'll probably buy those too. Like I said, kind of disgusting, but I probably will. All right? Hazard particles. Sadly, not the ones that I wanted. I wanted rare hazard particles. We didn't get it. G-Foo, thank you for the resub. Appreciate that. But regular hazard particles. I feel like that is probably not the best investment. However, if you need it, there's 100,000 hazard particles. Okay? 100,000 hazard particles. What else did we add in here? Emblems of Honor. That would be your war room. Weren't those in here last time, though?
Was that in there before?
Yeah, this one made it in last month. Chala said they are a must. I don't necessarily disagree, but it's not new. We did get those on the last run. That was an ad last month. But still a very new item. Okay? Very new item. So, very, very good. Okay? You had new Chaos techs, including the Thought Maker, the Temporal Conduit, and Q's Cannon, which, by the way, do all have sourcing, but this can make it faster. Q's Cannon will allow you to pull 50 shards, and it's cheap. 2,750 total currency for 50 cannon shards. All right? That's pretty significant. Berserker Complex. Oh, no, that was already in there. Thought Maker. 1,100 currency. No. 2,200 currency, and you can unlock the Thought Maker. It's only 100 shards to unlock, right? Is that right? 100 on the Thought Maker. Temporal Conduit. Same thing as Q's Cannon. 50 shards, 2,750 currency. Okay? Take a look at the new officers. Now, I see mixed reaction in the chat. Let me remind you, not everything is for everybody. You had Dechok, Wayoon, Ducat, Strike Team La'an, Borg Queen, Borg Hugh all added. Out of all of those officers, Dechok is the only one not in transporter patterns. That is fine. For new players, this is monumental. Okay? Monumental to get those strike teams and get them faster. However, Dechok is not sourceable easily in many other places. So he may be worth you looking at. Okay? Wham says, hey, for me, he's the only one not maxed. I'll take him. Riskbreaker says, I'll take him. All right? Absolutely.
That also is a callback to you and Cruzito's conversation before, how they have been offering things that were in other game modes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
So very, very good call out there. And I think that was it for the new ads. All right. And sadly, those were all added to Master League. Now, I did see a chat comment, which I actually agree with. I like it. I'll take it back. We talked about the badges. I do like this idea, and I'll take it back to them. It's probably too late for this run, but I could definitely see it being something we could add to the next run, is as we add new stuff, if it's going to go into Master League, we could take some of the older stuff that was Master League only and drop it down to Elite and Adept. I think that, or Expert and Adept. I think that would be a cool idea. I do like that idea. I saw that in chat, so that's a good idea, and I will take that back because I was slightly, although not surprised, Tarpy, I was slightly disappointed that it was Master League only. You know, I thought that was a little bit sad, but I would like to see if they're going to add stuff to Mastery, then it would be nice if they took some of the Master exclusive stuff and dropped it down to the other leagues. If they're going to do it that way, then that would at least provide an incentive to continue to level up, but it doesn't bar you from ever being able to get those rewards. So I will advocate for that. I think that would be a good idea. So yeah, Shiz, I like that idea. Spock says Thoughtmaker shouldn't be Master. Well, I think it was just all the new ads went to Master, right? But I do see a very valid argument for taking the Master stuff then and bumping it down to allow other players access to it who may not be in the siziest of alliances. So anyway, very, very positive changes to Alliance tournaments all the way around. I'm pleased with this. Let's go around the panel as we get ready to wrap up because we are literally knocking on the door of our time, 2 hours, 51 minutes. So let's go around the panel very quickly. Tarpy, starting with you, Alliance tournaments and their refresh. All in all, how do you feel? Introduction to G7 tasks, new store items. Any comments?
I mean, they always have issues when they first release content like this. Like, they literally stopped having Alliance tournaments for several months because of similar issues. So I'm glad they kept it. I'm glad they kept it going. And I would love if they did drop the level for the older stuff that they put in.
Yeah.
With every successive edition. So like what they have in Master this time, have it to Expert next time. What they have in Expert next time, have it go to the next one down the time after that. So it's just premium access.
Mm-hmm. You know, I want to ask a question of the chat, and this is a personal question. I'm going to just ask now. All right, Prime Valor credits. Now that there's been so much stuff added into the store, new officers, new jump currencies, badges. All right, I gotta be honest with you, the jump currencies, they mean a lot to a player like me. All right, the Borg looks great. Cultivated Mycelium looks great. Vindicator ship parts, premium mirror dust, emblems of honor, a lot of new stuff in here I'm going to invest currency in. All right, so that's going to cause me to, and a lot of you guys are going to buy badges. A lot of this is now going to give me a little bit of a pause in the strategy of what I was buying. So let me ask, if I have to prioritize my Alliance tournament credit, is it still worth the Prime Valor emblems for me? Let's remind you of the primes that Prime Valor emblems supply. Prime Fleet Commander gift. That's going to give you extra Fleet Commander XP, extra Fleet Commander credits, and extra Command Center communicator things to upgrade your Command Center. Probably not necessarily super worth it in today's game economy. Prime Station Siege, which is increasing, if I'm not mistaken, increasing damage when attacking a base. Prime Dominion Solo Rating, which increases loot from DS9 Solo Armadas. Prime Armada Refinery. Must have. Get that. If you don't have any other Prime from these Prime Valor emblems, then Prime Armada Refinery is a must have. Get that. Okay? Prime critical hit reduction. Nice if you are a PvPer. Okay? Nice to have that. I wouldn't rank it in the top 2, maybe top 3. Okay? Prime Discovery Warp Range. Absolutely right there, knocking on the door of Prime Armada Refinery. Do Prime Armada Refinery first, then Prime Discovery Warp Range. And then Prime Station Delay. This delays combat from defense platforms when attacking a station. All right, so again, in today's economy, raiding is more of a sport than it is an economy driver. So I don't raid a lot of bases anymore because it's boring and it doesn't do anything for me. So I haven't gotten that one. Now, if I'm looking at my perspective here, Tarpy, I've got Prime Armada. I've got Prime Disco Range. I've got Prime Crit Hit Reduction. I was investing currency into Prime Valor emblems. But if I'm going to run into a shortage of Alliance Tournament currency, I believe that it may not be worth some of these other primes when I could look at other things like ship parts and jump juice. So I'm asking just a general question to the chat. Putz, let me ask you. I hear you piping up. Are there any of these primes that you think I should still invest currency in, or should I move on to bigger and better things?
To be honest with you, if you're not interested in the PvP stuff, and assuming that your command center is fine and you've got all of that, I don't know if there's any return on investment for you, especially when you get these in other places in a very smaller drip. I think I would if I were you, I would turn it off and just let the others drip in when they happen.
Yeah. Now, Prime Station Delay, that Riskbreaker says delay because you always get raided. I think that's the other way around. Isn't Prime Station Delay, doesn't that delay the firing of defense platforms when attacking a base? Yeah, delay is for cracking, not preventing being cracked. So not to mention,
won't help you.
But isn't that prevented with Lorca or Sloan or one of those guys?
Yeah, one of those guys can counter that too. So yeah, so I think Putz is right. I think I'm going to stop on Prime Valor emblems. I see more value now in some of the newer items that were added, including officer shards as well. Interesting. Who's
so
Lorca?
Just because I've seen people kind of say, "Oh, why would you get jump juice?"
Bro.
Can you do me a favor and click on somewhere in the Veil that your disco can get to, and don't go there, but just show people and then say what the warp time is for you to go from your base to somewhere in the Veil.
Well, slightly deflated with me right now because I based in the margins, but even then, I'm still 5 minutes. But I based in the margins. If you were based down in territory,
based in Horless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm based basically in territory. It is a 12-minute flight.
13 for me.
For my disco to get to a reasonable system in the Veil.
Yeah. I parked in the I'm right here. I'm in the margins right here. I'm in Kithmore. For those of you in podcasts, you can't see. So I'm based in a 71 system that's only 2 systems away from a Veil entry point. I did that because of the warp time for me doing my dailies. Because again, 17 hulls, right? 17 hulls. I didn't want to spend jump juice on all that. Now, Spock says Veil is only 3 to 4 minutes from TC. I don't think that's right. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and hop down here. We've got a territory. I will reload very quickly into a territory. Oops.
For your disco, guys? Or
but why would we
your regular warships?
Well, and the warships are a little bit better, but it's still a long time. This is the wrong system. Hang on. I'll show you. Real quick. Listen, rephrase. It's not just Veil. It's also just the manner in which we've become accustomed to playing the game. Disco, we like to jump everywhere. Board cube, you guys jump it all over the place. You jump it. All right. Now we can jump it more. That's great, and I love it. If I reload into territory. Now, I may be missing some super highways. I mean, that's certainly possible. But for me to get to the system that I typically mine in now, Disco is a 12-minute warp. Even my miners, 6 minutes. All right. Vic says, I instant warp everywhere. Daggone right. I do too.
So that's more my point is
I instant warp everywhere.
So I know my research is kind of crap for that because I haven't needed it in a while. Like, where have I needed to go that I couldn't get in 3 minutes in the last 6 months? So it's more the point that those flights can be pretty long. And you're going to want to maybe, if you're a weaker 70 or 71, you're going to want to be jumping your ships up there if they can't get there on their own.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take you a bit to earn all of the epic transigen that it takes to get the jump drive for your G6 epic.
Well, not only that, but look at other scenarios that you might use. Maybe it's not Veil. We just did a teaching episode not long ago on taking your Serene Squall to a higher system to be able to mine epic transigen faster. Okay? There's a lot of scenarios in which you will want to use Disco, even if it's just utility and not convenience. So for me, and I instant warp everywhere. Guys, this is terrible. When I'm doing missions, all right, when I sit down and I actually have a day where I'm going to sit and I'm going to try to do a bunch of missions, guys, I am not flying all over the galaxy. I am jumping everywhere. And if I have to kill a gold hostile, I'm summoning there. If I'm going to go through missions, I'm reading the story. I want to read it like a book. I don't want to wait 3 minutes in between pages. You know? I'm summoning, I'm jumping everywhere. So for me, and again, this is where a perfect example of the things that were added are not for everybody. A G4 player might be like, that's silly. I'll just warp because I don't have the luxury of instant warp or Disco Prime or any of these others. I'll just warp. But hey, I'm going to take those strike team officers. Well, that's great. I don't need the strike team officers, right? I want convenience. I want speed. I want jump juices. I will absolutely buy the Borg transwarp manifolds, and I will absolutely buy Disco jump juice. I'll do it. And I'm going to buy Vindicator parts. I've already bought premium mirror dust. And you know what? All of these things are relatively new ads. So I'm grateful that they have revamped the store. And you know what? Badges. This is the biggest win. The biggest win of this entire Alliance tournament run are 20 command badges. That is absolutely huge. 20 command badges. That's massive. And any of you who have been talking about badges, that should be the first thing you're dumping your currency into. And you'll dump a lot. You're going to dump 30,000. You're going to dump over 30,000 of your credits into command badges. But that'll be very worth it for some of you who have been holding up on those for a long, long time. I mean, I saw 2 or 3 people in chat say that was enough for me to upgrade every single one of the officers who I had waiting. I mean, that's significant. What an ability. Listen, you guys know I have been dying, absolutely dying to get my Seska maxed. Dying to get Pick Hugh maxed, and I can't yet because I'm waiting on the shards. How sickeningly and disgustingly would that feel if to get the shards and then you can't upgrade them? You know what I'm saying? You
it's
finally,
not a good feeling.
Yeah. See, says Karkin. You finally get all the shards and then you can't. Karkin, are you going to buy badges?
There's going to be some badges bought, yes.
There you go. Yeah, Griffin says been there. We know Griffin's a whale and doesn't even have badges. All right. Cyber Demon, I know I need 35,000 X-Borg epic credits. I don't have that either, but I also don't have the Pick Hugh shards yet either. So I'm planning for that. I'm working on it. All right. But not all of us need the badges. Not all of us do. Some do. Not all of us.
The badges are great, but I don't know if I would recommend spending essentially half of your loot that you could get for going 15 for 15 and placing like top 10 in an alliance for spending half of your loot on just 20 badges.
I agree. I don't think I would bank 20 if I don't need them. Here's what I would do. I'd look at the officers that I have ready, or the officers who might be within 20 or 30 shards of being ready. And then I'm going to look at the officers whom I really need, like a Seska, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Board Queen, not as important. Okay? Borg Hugh, by the way, crazy enough, going from tier 4 to tier 5 doesn't improve his ability a great deal. It's great for stats, it's great for power, but your crit chance increases like 2% from tier 4 to tier 5. So
does it even increase the crit chance, or does it just increase the chance of getting the crit chance?
No, it increases crit chance, but I mean, you're already at like 98%. You know what I'm saying? So is that worth that extra 2%? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. All right. But again, it's for you. Now, Kabiji, you're right. You get more officer stats for boosting the ship stats, and that's valuable too. The key point that we're making here, the key point that Putz just pointed out, is this is giving you a ton of opportunity, and it's going to be different for everybody. What do you need? This Alliance Tournament store, guys, has very quickly become the next best thing to an event store. And with it, you guys get to determine what it is that you need in your account right now. Putz, I think you're absolutely right. I would not recommend somebody buy 20 badges unless you just had a boatload of amazing officers waiting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, if I would assess and go, okay, how many am I going to need over the next month before the next AT that are just absolutely, I got to have them. As soon as I get the shards, I need to upgrade this officer. And make sure you have those on hand. But unless you're like, man, I've got 18 officers and I need 37 badges and they're all captain's badges.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to do that once or twice and then you're going to be caught up. But like, if you're caught up, I don't hoard these. Don't bank for like, oh, I got to have 50 of them. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And, listen, again, some of this stuff is great. It's, pal, I see you. Some of it's nickels and dimes. I already pulled the mirror dust. It is. For me, it will get me 1 research. For you, it might not even do that, but it's still 1,250 more dust than you had yesterday. And that's one of the things that this game is about. Alliance tournaments are free and easy. They're free and easy. That's one of the things that I've loved about them.
On point with that nickel and dime. You inch your way up with everything in there, like the primes, the artifact, everything. It's just
officer shards.
Crawl.
Yeah. Everything in here is fantastic, and that's why I say, like, Alliance tournaments to me has always been so crucial, so imperative to the player base, because it has so many options in here. It is like an event store. There's something for everybody. Look, I don't have my Kirshara maxed yet. I might, which would be silly, but I might, because I've got mastery artifacts that need more epic maxes, So that might be something that I look at as well. But that's not something that a level 40 player should be looking at, I don't think. So I'm just saying that Alliance tournaments are very, very important. And you're right, by the way. It's probably not quite as easy for G5 and down. And I wouldn't even say G5. I think Ops 59 still have pretty good runs at it with some of the tasks that they've got. But you're right. Ops 61 is actually really where this becomes easy street. All right?
Well, with the Syndicate Battle Pass, anybody that has a Syndicate Battle Pass should be able to, as long as they're G4 and above, they should be able
45.
to do the Syndicate.
It is 45. Above, yeah, it is 45. But you're right. You should be able to get at least, what did you say earlier? 3 or 4?
5. You should be able to get the Syndicate task every day, because you should be able to be collecting one of those milestones every day.
There you go. All right, so there's your 5 10,000 point tasks if you're an Ops 45 plus. All right, and that's significant. That's a fair amount of currency right there. That right there is 22,000 currency. No, more than that. No. 20. What's 4,400 times 5?
22,000.
Oh, damn. I was right the first time. 22,000 currency for free with the Syndicate Battle Pass. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. There's 22,000 and 5 tasks for you free to play. You 45 through 60s. There's 5 easy tasks. Non-grind. That's right, Cruzito. Can I get a free up in here? Free.
With the amendment that you probably should have the Syndicate Primes stuff.
Well, there's a lot of sources of Syndicate. DTI, Xborg, your daily pull, which doesn't the daily pull still count twice? Shh. Okay, so you got a lot of sources there.
Yes.
Okay. Gandalf says you have to have the paid track to get enough. No, what he's saying is that combined with all the other sources that you've got, you can still do it. All right. The free track, you can still do it with all the other sources that you've got. All right. You can get to 220,000 this time. For this run, that's a fact. You can do it. All right. With all the other stuff, you got to do DTI. You got to do your daily. You got to do Xborg. You've got to do the Mantis pull. You know, you've got all that stuff. All right. But there's a lot of sources of Syndicate. What is, Putz, if you were spitballing, and I don't know what the exact, unless you know the exact number, how much potential Syndicate XP does, say, an Ops 45 have in a day? DTI will offer you 60,000 by itself.
That's also based on your Syndicate level. If you're above a certain amount and below the 55.
Yeah, I would say if you are above Syndicate level 25, which is not hard to do, and you're Ops 45, and you have everything maxed for that level, except for the Premium Dust Syndicate, let's say you have that at level 2, you are probably going to be able to pull points. Now, this is not actual Syndicate because you're going to get double from your daily,
That's right.
from your original OG, right? But if you've got everything already up to your level, I'm going to guess points-wise, you're going to be sitting around 200K, maybe as high as 220.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got 30K on top of that, and you've got your 225.
Yeah. And don't forget, Maple Butter, and that's what I just kind of said, kind of under my breath. Don't forget, whatever you're getting in your daily chest pool is actually doubled. All right, you're getting 2. All right, you're getting 2 times the credit there. So Syndicate 48 gets
which is
70.
why the Syndicate Prime is so important, because that's what's
Syndicate Prime. And by the way, Syndicate Prime is now grindable. Syndicate Prime is also in the Alliance Tournament store. Okay, just to give you guys a quick insight into that, let's go find that really quick, and we'll tell you where to find that. That is
there's 2. One is 100%. One is 400%, isn't it?
Let's find them. Syndicate Prime.
Correct, Karkin. And they both take different stuff, and you can get them, I think, both in the
Dolomite for one, tournament for store stuff for the other.
Yeah, Dolomite for one, AT Store for the other.
Premium Mirror Dust has one. Premium Syndicate, if you want to use Premium Mirror Dust. You also have Prime Syndicate XP that uses... Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I've got it, so it's giving me grief. Here we go. Syndicate Prime Particle costs 1,000. That is in Alliance tournaments, and I don't even think that's a master one. Here it is, Prime Syndicate Particle, and I don't think that is limited to master, so you can get that one a little bit lower. And then there's one more, Syndicate Spike. All right, Syndicate Spike, very important. All right, that one takes a Prime Dolomite Particle. Guess what? There's Dolomite Particles in here. All right, now that one I do think is a Mastery or a Master League, but there is Dolomite. Plus, there's other ways to earn Dolomite, too. Lots of Dolomite in the game. Now, all right, so where is Dolomite? No, Dolomite's not in here. That's in the other places. I know there's Dolomite.
You'll find that in event stores. In the Ferengi store now.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was in something. The Ferengi store, not tournament store, but the Ferengi store, which is also open right now. Plus, you can draw a daily drip in the X-Borg store, so you can get that one. All right, you could literally get that now. All right, and according to Spock's Club, there's another Syndicate research called Syndicate Requisition, which what is that? Oh, that must be a buff. That must be like an EXO or something. Yeah, that's not it. So Syndicate Spike, Prime Syndicate XP, and Premium Syndicate XP. One's Premium Mirror Dust, the other two are Primes, all three of which currencies are available in the game right now. All right.
I think it happens at Syndicate 48 when it converts your DTI syndicate to a much higher amount.
Correct. Yeah, it's 48, I think 75,000 combined. Below that, let me look. In my DTI store.
To that when you get to like Syndicate 46. Okay, thanks, Feet Washer.
72,000.
I couldn't remember.
46. There you go. Syndicate 46. So yeah, I'm getting 72,000 out of my Syndicate store now. 73,500 for Syndicate 48 or 46 plus. So below that, it's a little bit lower. But even now, lots of sources there. Okay. So you can math it out. And again, this is going to be unique to all of you and your account. What's important to you and your account at this time? Well, there you go. A complete breakdown into the new changes, new items, and the value proposition of the items that are available inside Alliance tournaments. Thank you guys so very much for being here. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate you guys all for being here. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, Josh? Thank you for your new silver membership over on YouTube. What's up? Welcome to the club. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so very much. Listen, we invite you to visit our website. Go check it out. Star Trek or Talking Trek, STFC.com. Wham says Fortnite time. No, it's almost midnight. Time for me to go to bed. I got to work, and then I got football game tomorrow night, and all kinds of crazy. It's going to be a busy weekend.
Daily, right?
Got yeah. Did you do your dailies? You've only got a few minutes left on your dailies. Go do the dailies. All right. Thank you guys. I'm not laundering today. No Fortnite either. Not for me right now. Somebody else may be doing it. Is Iron Chef on? Let's see if somebody else is online doing some stuff. Let's see. We got a lot of DJs on tonight. Jason V-Neck is doing STFC. Maybe we'll hop on over there. Say hey to Jason and check out. It looks like he is also looking at Alliance tournaments and examining the store, so you guys go check that out. Have a little bit of fun there as well. Thank you guys so very much for being a part of our live studio audience, and thank you for listening in podcast, wherever it is that you're listening on playback, whether it's YouTube, whether it's over on Twitch, whether it's in iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Amazon, YouTube Music, and all the others. Thank you so very, very much. Spotify, Pandora, we're everywhere. You can find us, and we appreciate you guys checking out and listening to our show. Our website is TalkingTrekSTFC.com, where you can find links over to our merch store, where there is indeed brand spanking new merch. Tarpy, Candy White went in there, added brand new merch. We've got Sable Whale.
Uh-oh.
We've got, we do. You guys should go check it out. We've got, here, I'm actually going to throw this up on the screen really quickly, just to let you guys see. We've got the whale skip button that Griffin wanted. All right, we've got Thank a Whale t-shirts, hoodies, t-shirts. We've got the Hammy Hit It t-shirt. All right, hashtag Pack did that. All right, lots of great new stuff. And listen, the holidays are coming up. This stuff is going to make some great gifts for the holidays. We're actually going to be giving you some of it here over the next couple of months as well. So you guys be sure to go check it out. That's at TalkingTrekSTFC.com, as well as our Patreon club, where you can support the channel. Thank you guys very much for all of you guys who do that. The gold members, $5. The all access members, the recognized members at $10, even the Studio B membership passes over there at $15 to $20. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do to support the channel. My name is UltimatDJz, and we appreciate you. On behalf of Tarpy, Matters, Griffin, Putz, Karkin, and all the rest of the crew, thank you so much for listening and being a part of our community. My name is UltimatDJz. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person saying meow for now. Thank you for listening to Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. Good night, everybody. Love you, mean it. Meow.